have equal right to the football. That's the rule, and so therefore DBs have to pull off. But from a confidence standpoint, he's doing great. And Miles, I mean, yeah, I don't know why anybody would be surprised with Miles' ability. I mean, you know, having been in the division and played against Miles when he was in Philadelphia, you talk about a guy that's a home run threat. You talk about a guy that's got incredible, you know, just ability to hurt you running, catching the ball out of the backfield, all that stuff. Very smart, very bright. All the backs have been that way. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention they're both the right type of guy. You know, they both fit into what we're trying to build as a culture from a work ethic standpoint. They both bring veteran leadership, a little bit different. Miles a little older than Kyer, but Kyer's, you know, father, you know, played, so he understands the life of professional football. And so two very exciting guys that we've added to the roster, amongst many other.
And you kind of alluded to it already, but how much thought do you put into good days on the field when you can't really do a whole lot out there? It's
more about learning, you know. I mean, it really is. It's more about are the attention to the details with this scheme there? Are our splits right on offense? Is our communication right on defense? It's more of a, you know, when you talk about identity, we want to be a team that plays smart. We want to be a team that doesn't beat ourselves, and we want to be a team that doesn't have a lot of penalties. So it's more of that. You know, we get a lot out of the walkthroughs, you know, because that's kind of the tempo you have to go to. And I'm very pleased with where we are from a scheme implementation, if you will, both on offense, defense, and special teams. We're through a lot, and we're in a review day today, which is good. What a review day should bring is really even better details, you know, even better communication, even less errors. And I think that's the thing that we want to see from a day like today.
Joe.
Joe White, DLS Sports. One of the things we talked about last year with Eric Hendricks was that you could teach Mike Zimmer's system because he knew it so well. Obviously, you guys brought in Jack Sanborn, who has experience with Matt Eberflus. Just curious, does Matt Eberflus' system, do you think it needed kind of a translator?
You are the only participant in the conference.
And what else have you seen from
All
Sanborn
participants are muted.
Work ethic jumps off the tape. The communication I was talking to, you know, he has the advantage because he's been in the system. But again, I think Flus's system is so flexible, and you know, again, we're going to always be multiple. Everything we do is going to be multiple on all three phases of the game, and that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to run 1,000 different coverages or run 1,000 different plays, but you're going to dress it up and do things like that. But Jack's been incredible. The command, also him, I would say, leaning into a couple of the younger backers, you know, Barron and Shamar. You know, that doesn't have to happen, but he's happy to help, which is great. Again, speaks to the fact that, yeah, he's a competitor. He wants to win the starting job, but he's also willing to, you know, lean into those guys and answer questions and be a sounding board, and that's what we want. I mean, you can be a veteran that wants to compete to be a starter, but still help some of the younger guys. There's not a right way or wrong way to do it, and Jack's a very selfless player that we're excited to have.
Kyle Yeomans, Dallas Cowboys TV. We talked to Damone Clark a little bit last week, too, sticking with linebackers. What have you seen in his progression with this system and how he's kind of come along this offseason?
Yeah, picked it up fast. I think the way he's diagnosing things looks quicker to me than maybe in the past. A little bit more command of it. The physical traits have always been there. And I think the connection that he has with Flus, Coach Borgonzi, I think that's important. I know most guys are that way, but I think Damone, he's such a pleaser. He wants to do things the right way, that I think that relationship that he's developed with Dave Borgonzi is incredible.
Mic check.
Again,
Mic check. 1, 2. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio's straight.
Like we've said, you know, what
1,
are we
2.
doing to connect the coaches to the players to the staff, and I think that, you know, Dave's done a really good job of capturing not just Damone, but really that entire linebacker room, because there's a ton of new faces in there.
Stop from The Athletic. Brian, you were asking earlier about the burden of the Super Bowls, but the outside perception is, you know, even though it's your first year running the program, it's a 30-year drought. Does the drought of the Super Bowls weigh on you at all? How do you kind of navigate that, you know,
5.
having a clean slate that you have versus the history that?
Yeah,
4.
I don't get caught up in the drought. This is 1 year. I mean, this is the first year of mine. I mean, I've been here
3.
a couple years. But, you know, when the season's over, we move on.
2.
We do. You move on. So 2024 is over. Now it's 2025. Are we going to win the Super Bowl this year? I hope. I think we are.
1.
If we don't, you move on. You go to 2026 and beyond. But like to sit here and say that we worry about, when the last time it was 96? Is that when the last one was? I mean, I know that stat, but I don't stay up at night going, man, it's been X amount of years. I'm not wired that way because I'm competing every day to try to win a Super Bowl. And so if I'm looking back and I'm worried about that, then guess what? I'm not focused on what really matters, which is making sure we throw an incredible practice today.
Good answer, Coach.
It's been a few years since Nick has been in the special teams realm, going back to y'all's time together in Jacksonville. Just where is he at in the process of, getting the way that he wants the unit to be moving and things like that, and the players as well with him?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Nick is an incredible football coach. Here's my belief with football coaches in general, and again, I think our staff's incredible, but you can find great coaches anywhere, and when you're a really good coach, you could coach any phase. Nick's an incredible coach, and so other than the kickoff rule, because when we were in Jacksonville, it was a regular kickoff, so now it's like, yeah, it looks a little different. So that's been an adjustment for him. Carlos Polk and he were together in Jacksonville. That's why getting Carlos here, who's another Cowboys legend. We actually celebrated him amongst the Bob Lillies and Randy White. Not quite the same crowd appreciation from our players, but Carlos is seen as a Cowboys legend. This is, I think, his third or fourth tour of duty here. But Nick's doing great. Again, it's a deal where we're preaching speed, violence, and finish. And that's what Nick's coached from the time he played special teams for 14 or 12 years, whatever it was, and what he's coaching the DBs. And so football's football, man. Fundamentals are fundamentals. It's running, it's hitting, it's tackling, and he's one of the best I've ever been around at teaching that.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Brian, looks like Kenneth Murray, who you traded for, has been running with the ones a lot through OTAs. What have you seen from him coming over from Tennessee so far?
Well, I'm going to go back. We played, actually on my 50th birthday a couple years ago, we played in L.A., played the Chargers, and I remember they had him and Kendricks, and he's a great player too, but I remember going into that game really concerned about, I think he's wearing number 9, I think. But the athleticism, the power, the ability to diagnose, excellent tackler, physical. So a guy we've been watching for a couple of years. Again, right now we're not doing ones and twos. We're rotating things around as we create competition, but he is not disappointed. The same player that we saw in L.A. a couple of years ago on Monday night, I think it was, is the same guy that we're seeing every day out there at practice. Really a great feel. Understands how to defeat blocks and fit gaps, and that's a big part of a guy that's got veteran experience and leadership, quite honestly.
Jonah Javad, WFAA. Brian, your enthusiasm in practice, your energy with players, from what we see and from what we've heard from players, it kind of jumps out to us. How important is that to you as a head coach to kind of bring that to your guys? Why do you feel that's important? And what was the genesis of all of that? Has that just been rooted in you from day one, or did you have to practice that as a coach versus maybe as a player?
Well, it's actually funny that you asked me that question, and I'll answer. And the reason I smile is the way we practice and the way that I act at practice. My father is looking down from heaven going, what are you doing? Like, that's not how you practice. But my father also coached a long time ago. And the type of athletes and type of young men that we're dealing with has changed. I believe that it's the coach's responsibility first and foremost to create a great practice environment. What do I mean by that? If we don't have energy and we're not into it and we're not running around and we're not talking shit, then the players aren't going to be able to do that because they're going to follow our lead. And when we show them that we're going to let our personality shine and we're going to be who we are and be joyful out of practice, then they're going to do that. And I think what I would say reminded me of that and what I really fell for that was my years in Seattle. I think I've talked to you guys a little bit about Pete. I mean, I remember Pete being, sorry Pete, if I'm wrong, 72 or 1 at the time, and him running around the practice field with more energy than me, who was 40-something at the time. I'm like, damn, I got to get in shape. But I believe it. Like I watched some incredible athletes that late in the season went out to practice and maybe they didn't really feel like practicing, but when the coaches bring the juice and the energy and the vibe, then they're going to follow suit. And That's really.
Can you imagine
impacted me.
Mike McCarthy running around?
Contradict some of the feedback on Mike. You said when the offseason was getting cranky, you wanted him to be present from a leadership point of view. And you just talked about the communication with him being good. I wondered how he was sort of meeting that hope and expectation of you of being around enough to where his sort of leadership presence is felt.
Yeah, I mean, again, being present doesn't necessarily mean being here all the time, doesn't mean necessarily having to practice. It means being present, being around the guys. I mean, we all don't see the things that some of these guys do away from here. There's a lot of work being done away from here, whether it's with other players in the NFL, our guys, things like that. And again, you know, the thing that I know about Micah is Micah wants to be here. He's excited about what we're building. He's been a big proponent of that, and you can lead a lot of different ways, and this is a business, and they're working through the business part of this deal, but again, everything I've asked him to do, everything that I've required, no different than everybody that's here, he's been great with, and so that gets me excited, and I'm a big fan of Micah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. See you at practice. Now I got to stretch because I got to run and be energetic.
All right, so that was the presser of one and only Schottenheimer. Well, we're going to call him Shotty, but shout out to everybody for tuning in for this presser and recapping some of the things that he said. Well, first and foremost, I think that he's going to try to emulate the energy that Pete Carroll did, because he was talking about that aspect of it. I do like that he starts over with a fresh sheet of paper every year, and he's not saying that, okay, the drought is on me. This is his first year coaching this team as a head coach, and I do like that aspect of it. We did hear news about the gentleman named Trayvon Diggs. His recovery aspect is there. Let me see what else we want to cover over all of this. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If this is your first time ever tuning in to the Nation, my name is Law Nation, and we're going to look at Nicole Hutchinson. I think she did a great job of recapping everything as relates to Cliff Notes here. And let me go over here. She says, basically, I'm just going to recap some of the things that he said. All right, so 6 minutes ago, Shotty and Damone Clark, he said he's picking up things fast, and Damone is one of those guys that I look back at and say, okay, coming out of LSU before the neck injuries and these sorts of things, he would have been considered either a first or a second round draft pick. But we do know how necks and stuff goes, man, or backs and all of these things, whereas one argued that, hey, he would probably never play football again. So those storylines with the aspect of linebackers being an Achilles heel for the Cowboys, right? It's just been one of those things. But the connection he has with Eberflus and Dave is important in one of those incredible moments there. So I've been going back and forth with a lot of folks about a certain topic line, and linebackers, DBs, safeties, they play a major role on stopping the run too. I think that what we did collectively is pin the tail on the donkey and pretty much said that, you know, with this particular team, in order for us to stop the run, we got to get rid of Mozzie, right? And that's been the ongoing conversational piece. And let me see if I can pull this up right quick. I don't know, that looked brutal right there, but my guy, we had a little thread going on. And shout out to Brandon Laurie. I really respect him, and I really appreciate all of his hard works and stuff like that goes within the confines of this. And trust and believe, we all know we need help in both categories. We're not trying to measure only one. But Brandon Laurie said earlier today, about 4 hours ago, forget trading for Jalen Ramsey post June 1. I hope the Cowboys trade for a stud veteran defensive tackle. I would feel way better about this team. And my comment and my response to that is this right here. Everybody is saying that until week 1, when it's Cowboys Andre Booth covering A.J. Brown and them, everybody say, hey, man, we need a D tackle. 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 And I get all of that. And trust me, I want a D tackle. Don't get me wrong. But the linebacker jobs are for the scrape and to get upfield once you occupy something, right? And my guy Kelly K9, he's a real good follower on Twitter and beyond. He does a great job, great passion. He says, but what about Saquon running through the heart of the defense with Mozzie as our best run stopper? Now, I get it. Most of you guys don't have the time or the bandwidth to go watch every game from the All-22 and go back and rewatch that game. So what I did, because I watched the game and I rewatched it several times. What if I told you that Saquon Barkley, he didn't run it up the gut? But that's the illusion that everybody wants to say. Hey, it's a D tackle. It's a D tackle. It's Mozzie. It's Mozzie trash. Osa trash. Man, Law is trash. Everybody trash. Man, Tupac and Biggie, they trash, man. Oh, man, everybody trash, right? And that's what everybody like to run with without verifying or absolutely looking at the tape for themselves. They will hear one person say, and then they'll go, yeah, it's Mozzie. He's the one that trash. So we pull up the stat line for your mind, and these were two separate according to these games right here. And this was Mozzie in this game, and we talked a little bit about this, about Mozzie, and this was, of course, years ago, right? It was like going into the second year. I said Cowboys Mozzie Smith isn't responsible for those outside runs, y'all. To be fair, teams have been attacking the edges, not up the middle. Although Mozzie, he needs to play better. He do need to play better. Go back and watch these games, and I really want you guys to go and watch the games and watch the defensive tackles, whether it's 3-tech or 1-tech, and watch it, not the all 22, and then go back and watch the broadcasting copy, and you will see where all of the yardages is coming from. Now, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I got some sharp edges over here. Let me know where are these chunks of runs are coming from, 179 yards, and let me know where all of these chunks are coming from. These chunks of yardages, a 10er, a 20, a damn near 30 for a touchdown, a 10, a 20 on this side, a 30, so let me know. And now I want to showcase you another pattern, because life give you patterns, right? So when we click on this, he was like, yeah, it's old boy. So when I go back here, I'm going to click on a whole different running game, different running back, a whole bunch of different stuff. Now, this is Saquon Barkley against the Cowboys. This is Saquon Barkley runs against the Cowboys. Now, the yellow represents 0 to 5 yard gains. Now, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I got some sharp edges. Let me know where Saquon Barkley was able to run it. Was he able to run on the inside or the outside? Was he able to capture the edge? And I need to know, like, why is Mozzie getting hit with all of this? Like, what you want Mozzie to do? You want Mozzie to stop this man down the field 30? This is a 30 piece. This is a 25. Let me get to 15. They order from KFC, baby. Hey, yeah, a 10-yarder, a 15-yarder, another 25-yarder. Are these running games that's on the inside or the outside? Because this blue line represents the LOS, and it stretches all across the world. It stretches all across the world, baby. And what you want to do is the red represent tackles for loss. Of course, we had them for a loss for a few times. But what I'm getting at is that, yes, I'm not saying that Mozzie is the end all be all. But what I'm getting at is that I think it's super ultra lazy to only pinpoint it and say that it was him, that was causing the reason why this guy, Saquon Barkley, was able to get 167 yards, man. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is, yes, we would love to have a nice one tech. But can you imagine that you so focused on that one tech that you still haven't been responsible for them edges, and they still running on the edges, and they still throwing it where Andre Booth is at. Now you in more of a crazy situation. Yeah. No, Law. What is happening, being able to stop the run, we need to stop the clock, especially in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Toxic Tom, I do agree with you on that. Whereas when we want to stop the run, the best equipment to stop all of this is for us to not have quick 3 and outs too, by the way. The best way, and I'm not shining on the Eagles or what have you, because I'm just going over. He says the outside run was definitely an issue, but I just watched the highlights, and I'm not beating up my guy K9. He said he watched the highlights December matchup, and he said there was plenty of runs up A gap. Now A gap, you got double A gaps, and the plenty of runs up double A gap, they are for 0 to 5 yards right here. They're not getting massive yardages there. And in actuality, your front supposed to condense this, whereas if you have Mozzie taking on 2, I need for my linebacker to recognize that, beat the feet, you where your feet at, and make the play. We need scraping linebackers to disengage to get upfield. These all could be solidified with good linebacker play. Good linebacker play can solidify the edges. You got hook to sideline. And this guy got the hook. And then these linebackers, if they getting washed inside, that's another story. But you got to have linebackers to stop the edges, and your edge rushers must contain, meaning that they can't play hero ball and shoot upfield. They must contain and allow the safety to come down if he have foresight to field, or if he's is out in the boundary. If he have boundary side, he got to play the field side. And on top of that, you got to have these guys scraping. And when you talking about great run defense, right? Not average, great run defense. Great run defense is literally disciplined defense. You show me an undisciplined team, I can guarantee you I will show you a team that don't stop the run, because it is necessary for you to make, where Uncle Charles at? Sacrifice. It's necessary for you to make the sacrifice. It's necessary for you to hold your block. It's necessary for you to see the candy and say, you know what, I'm not finna go take of that candy, because it's all eye candy. I got to have my position to contain so that my linebacker can scrape, disengage, rub, feel, beat their feet. Slow feet don't eat. You got to have that, ladies and gentlemen. And using last year is a little crass because we had a lot of injured guys. But what I'm getting at is that run defense been an Achilles heel for the Cowboys, not for last year, not for 5 years, not for 10 years, not for 15 years. It's been an ingrained situation because of the lack of discipline and the lack of personnel too, right? So that's what I'm getting at when we talking about run defenses. And I'm definitely not beating up anybody with the ideology. I'm not saying that I wouldn't want DJ Reader here. I'm not telling you guys that. But what I'm getting at, if these guys don't have a disciplined mindset to know that I'm making the sacrifices to play contain, or if I'm holding 2, is quick math. You can only have 5 or 7 is on the O-line on the LOS anyway, but it's literally 4 against your 5. So if I'm occupying 2, then there should be a free gap. There should be a free space for my linebacker to fill that gap, to make that play. Yes, indeed. So that's what we're looking at. Cowboys defensive edge couldn't set the edge most likely, but we blame the defensive tackles. Yes, gap integrity is everything. Like we understand, okay, in actuality, we know without a shout of a doubt that Osa Adigi Ozua is a undersized 3-tech guy, right? But there have been throughout the history that undersized 3-tech guys can still get upfield. There's nobody in this room that's going to tell John Randall, hey, John Randall, man, you're an undersized guy, man, I'll slap you up. No, nobody going to tell John Randall he's undersized, right? So you got to play to his strengths. If you think that they're finna run up the gap whereas he's occupying B gap, then you got to make sure that your safety is going to fill said gap or going to take on blocker when he pull and squeeze through the inside on a GT counter or whatever it may be. If it's a cut back inside, I need for my safety, which I've seen Mears live foul. He's a heat sickle and missile. He's not going to think twice about it. He's going to fill that gap. That's a plus for us. For many of years, we didn't have that, right? And Mears live foul, even though last year was his first year, at least we saw some evidence of tape of that, and I wish I can show y'all film on it. But marry that to this season, add to the fact that we have better coaching in that linebacker room, I think Liv Fowl finna have a great season. Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, from the things that Brian Schottenheimer just said, Hootenheimer, all of the Heimers, hey, I think that the linebacker room is going to be more sufficient, even though we have a smaller size in our interior, right? Now, granted, size do matter, and I'm not trying to skip over that, right? But what I'm getting at, scheme and coaching, and most importantly, discipline matters more, right? Aaron Donald was undersized correctly. Yeah, the Vikings didn't just have one defensive tackle. They had Randall, and they had spent draft money on drafted defensive tackles and linebackers. Yes, you're right, Toxic Tom. We're going all the way back. And John Randall was a crazy guy, man, for that. Now, granted, the Vikings, for a long period of stay, people were talking about their defensive front, but, of course, they didn't win anything. But I get exactly what you're saying. Damn, right size matter. Yeah, and I always like to talk about size and everything, not from another connotation, but I remember Bolo Young back in the days, and Bruce Lee. Or was it Bolo Young? Bolo Young was a real big Japanese guy, or Chinese. I forgot his heritage. Y'all let me know which race he is, Japanese, Chinese. I don't mean to be racist. What is this called? Racist or whatever, But neither here nor there. That joker was big, but that boy said it's only take 2 pounds of pressure to break a knee. Man, it used to be so fun back watching them karate movies back in the days. But Bolo Young was the strongest guy I've seen in most of those fighting movies, especially when he was fighting against I want to say Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport. Yeah. Bolo Young. Yeah, y'all remember Bolo, boy. Bolo, yeah. Kumite. But back to the topic at hand, what Nicole was saying, that also, with that being said, Shotty on Sam Williams. I know we had some of that audio that we were talking about. Shotty on Sam Williams. He said he laughed, and he said his biceps are huge. Speaking of that, biceps are huge and everything. Me and Sam Williams got an event together, and it's going to be on June the 14th. And I can't wait for you guys to come on out and enjoy and get a chance to talk to Sam Williams, by the way, if you can. And he's going to be an event here, and let me pull this up right quick. Appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in and being part of these type of conversations. Do me a huge favor and hit that like button and share this content. Tropical dress theme, by the way. Paradise in the City, and it's going to be a networking event with his business as well as Dak Prescott. It's going to be Paradise in the City, June 14th, 8 p.m. through 2 a.m. And trust me, with this particular party at the mansion, it may goes a little bit further into the thick of it, between 2 a.m. and 3 and 4, all of that good stuff. But it's on a Saturday, June 14th. More and more information will be around the way. And no, this is not a Diddy party. It's a mansion, right? But it's not a Diddy party. There won't be certain rooms you go into and say, hey, I get out of here. Sam, help me get out of this room. Yeah. I hope you aren't riding with Sam to that event. No, by the way, we will have some sprinters to this event, so we teamed up with a sprinter company so that nobody will be driving under the influences there. Come on with it. So we all know the mighty lessons in Dallas, though, but it will be some good drinking and good fun and good event, and it will be at this mansion, and it's going to be nice. But speaking of Sam Williams, got a chance to speak with him on a whole bunch of stuff. Darian Poser says, Is Diddy gonna be there? Nah, Cassie may be there. What's her name? Casey. Casey may be there, but Diddy not gonna be there. But he added to this particular point, and shout out to everybody, man. With all jokes aside, my apologies if I offended anyone. Yes, indeed. No. My apologies if I offended anyone, right? Allegedly, Cassie or Casey, whatever her name, she won't be there or she will be there. Who knows? But you got to be there in order to see. Sam been working all off season with Britt Brown and his rehab group. And Shotty said he makes the rundown and the check on those guys daily, and all are progressing good. So I don't think Diggs going to be there, though, this time. Not this time. Diggs won't be there. Nor Stephon Diggs. He won't be there as well. But speaking of Diggs, the Diggs family or what have you, it goes to this right here. Brian Schottenheimer said he spoke with Trayvon Diggs last week. They stayed in contact with the doctors, rehabbing people in Miami, where Diggs is training, and all things are positive. So speaking of positivity, Diggs is working out. He is moving around. My thing is, can he take a hit? And will he be shocked if somebody try to aim low on him? Those type of things that you got to consider, especially when you are talking about the fact that you got players coming off of an injury, right? Here's what I want to say too, Cowboy Nation. We got a few other things. Let me pull this up. Right quick. We got a few guys that's been working hard to get back on the same page and go through that therapy. And I get it. It's been a rocky road, knowing that guys got to fight back to get back into the league or what have you. But I come here to tell you that Parsons, he's working out hard. Right, and let me pull this up right quick. Parsons, he's working out hard. Diggs and Stephon Diggs, they both working out together hard. And as we can all see, that these guys, they are focused, they locked in. Even now we know he's been working out. that boy working on balances and everything on the boat. And that's Stephon Diggs, and he's cutting and moving, and he had leg injuries. So I don't know what's going on with the Diggs family, but they figure out ways to have quick and speedy recoveries. Can Diggs tackle? That's the question. This is from Jalen Battles. Tackling never been his forte, right? And if there was a person that I had my life on the line, and it's Diggs to tackle or Deion Sanders to make that tackle, This is the first time in history. I was like, give me Dion to make that tackle, right? Because Diggs never been that type of guy that can really tackle. He's a hugger. You know, he likes to hold. He likes to pull on the side and pull you down. And, you know, that's just not his forte. Before the injury, it's not his forte. I think that starting off, he started off as a wide receiver. When you look at Diggs, you still see that wide receiver mindset. Not saying that he done jumped side and went to DB and never looked back at wide receivers. But I think that, you know, when you look at him, you seeing with your eyes a guy that's a wide receiver playing DB, right? And there's no, the Diggs slander is crazy though, Kevin, but that's just the reality of it. I'm not trying to hate on the man or anything. Shout out to Aiden Diggs, brother Diggs, mama Diggs, baby Diggs, the baby developing Diggs, all of the Diggs. Shout out to all of the Diggs. But what I'm getting at is that Diggs is not a tackler, you know. Shoot, I'm not a bodybuilder, you know. Wouldn't want to be one. But I'm just saying, you know, some people are not who they say they are, you know, or not who do you think they are. But tacklers are Jalen Ramsey. The problem is with Jalen Ramsey is his contract is so flawed that nobody want to pay that. I'm not finna help Miami out by trading for Jalen Ramsey or paying all of that. If the Miami Dolphins no longer want Ramsey's services, we will know more after June 1st. You just have to wait and see. Sometimes blessings come to you. But Shotty, from listening to him, Kaiir Elam is going to get most of the reps out here, and we will know everything about him. And the person that can beat that down and rip that apart and shred it all around will be the guy that's named Pickens. It will be him and CD Lamb, because what we need from this coaching staff is like what Toxic Tom, he's keeping it objectively speaking, is that talk is cheap. Talk is very much so cheap. So one of the areas that we have to look at will be, all right, when we seeing out there in training camp, and these coaches, if they are seeing number 3 now, not 13, but if they seeing Pickens just snatching every ball that's in the air over these guys, right? And if they're seeing these things happening and they refuse to get Booth up out of here, Troy Pride up out of here, shout out to my guy Josh Butler. I ain't trying to say get rid of him. But what I'm saying, if they refuse to see with their eyes that these guys can't stop Lamb and Pickens, then they need to go out there and make something happen. They need to go out there and make something happen. But keep in mind, just like what he said at the presser, it's a one-way offense right now. Defense can't play all the way. They can't tackle right now. They can't even try to fight or attempt for PBUs unless, you know, there's a little, hey, the cameras are gone, the media people are gone, the NFL, Secret Services are gone. Go fight for that ball. Let's see if you can get that interception. See if you can tip it. See if you can fight a little bit further. And that is what Shotty is doing. I would not be surprised if the NFL reach out to the Cowboys and give them a little message saying, hey, tone down the practice, keep it down a little bit. Yeah, so it is for what it is. And now, last season, we didn't get a chance or the liberty to see all of this because last season, literally, shout out to you, Seabass. Last season, literally, it went just like this, ladies and gentlemen. It literally went just like this. Hey, Tolbert, with the granted of giving the opportunity, he could give you wide receiver 1 stuff. The Cowboys, and I'm not lying to kick it to y'all. You know, Tolbert could be a solid 1 since Lamb is not here. He's doing things. He's progressing and all of this stuff, right? And Tolbert, he was cooking Carson's, and Carson will win sometimes, and people like, hey, Carson looked good out there. And then Brandon Cooks, he was on the field, off the field, because he continued to be hurt during his offseason. So it was just Tolbert. right? It was Tolbert, Brooks. Boy, what a difference a year make, right? It was literally that, right? That's all we had to go by. And we're like, man, come on, Jerry. The whole conversation during the offseason was people were still bitter and angry and pissed off and upset about what Green Bay did to us, right? And that carried over. And people were still mad at Dak, right? Y'all remember that? Like, man, Dak, man, he shouldn't get paid this money. The Cowboys not going to pay him, and the Cowboys definitely not finna pay CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is not worth $37 million or $36 million. He's not better than Jamar Chase. He's not better than Justin, what's the guy name for the damn Minnesota Vikings? What's his name? Justin Jefferson. He's not better than them guys and all of that stuff. That was the energy last year. Y'all don't think these players look at the clips and read? Y'all don't think they're not online and stuff? Shoot, they're looking up every time they pull up something. Somebody telling them that they ain't worth this and they ain't better than this person. You know, they're going to play a crazy role in their psyche. Yeah, the front office failed us in 2024, and we as crave Cowboy fans, yes, baby, yes, we're going to be better. We're going to come back with revenge. Yeah. Bland was getting cooked too. Well, Bland always been a good practice player guy. You know, he practiced well all the time. So Bland was doing his job. It's just that the moment he went down, it like, that literally sucked the life out of this team because it happened a little bit before. I think it happened a little bit before the season started, right? Or he played the first game and it looks like, and it appears that he hurt his foot and he was still trying to play anyway because that's why he was looking toasty out there. That's all I can tell you. Yep. More with less. Yeah. Sugar Daddy Juan Williams. Yeah. That was the theme. Well, if we're going to pay the quarterback, we need to do more with less. We literally, I kid you guys not, I hate to bring up old news, but we literally, last season, signed only one guy around his time, and he had the ponytail. I forgot his name. He wore number 50. Eric Kendricks, I believe. Yeah, we signed one guy during this time. And yeah, we going to win the Super Bowl. And we were looking at the Eagles. We were looking at the Giants, Washington. They signing everybody. Yeah. So it was crazy. They just right new house. Yeah. Law Nation Sport. McCarthy should have been fired. Not all in. Yeah, the all in was crazy. Like Mike McCarthy, I think that what Jerry wanted him to do is for Mike McCarthy to say, man, I can't take this no more. I'm stepping down. But Mike McCarthy was stubborn just like anything. And he was like, hey, I wish we could sign these guys earlier. It seems as if, though, Jerry Jones made up his mind, and Steven made up their mind that they were going to move on from Mike McCarthy. But they were not going to buy him anything new nor shiny, right? And they stretched and pulled that entirety offseason out and told everybody to their faces, if Dak don't sign, then Trey Lance is going to be him. We're going to go roll with Trey Lance and Cooper Rush, right? And Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons, the three of those guys, they all could have gotten their contracts last season if they were all on the same page. I promise you, if Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Parsons, if they were really about that money life, and if they were really wanted to shoot it to the Joneses, all three of them guys, could have said, you know what, we holding out. Can you imagine going into this last season, on a lame duck year that nobody showed up, Parsons didn't show up, this Lamb didn't show up, and Dak Prescott? I guarantee you they would have paid them boys by Oxnard. But, Dak Prescott, and I'm not beating up Dak for those who gonna say, yeah, and I know because when I say this, people gonna say, nah, Lord, now you finna lose all of everything. if Dak wasn't the company man that he is, and if he were to hold out, right, and if CeeDee Lamb, he did his job, and Parsons, I guarantee you, it wouldn't have waited to week 1 of the first game versus Cleveland before we made that announcement by Dak Prescott getting his bag. All 3 of them guys, if they were to just say, you know what, F you, Jerry. Yeah, F you, Jerry, F you, Stephen Jones. We ain't coming, because it was only 3 people in Oxnard at that time. Yeah, it was only 3 people, me, the cameraman, and somebody else that was in the fan. Somebody was like Trey Lance, I forgot his name. He looked just like he looked just like Mark Holmes. Y'all remember that video, right? If all 3 of them held out, we wouldn't have been going through this, right? But all 3 of these guys wasn't on the main. Literally. Here it is right here. They wasn't even, these 3 guys right here, these 3 amigos, Dak, Parsons, and CD. If them 3 would have held out, boy, we wouldn't even be having this conversation by now. Yeah. Parsons would have been paid. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't Pickens officially number 3 now? Yes. I think that I can't wait to hear how that went down with Dante Fowler. Maybe Dante Fowler came into the mix and said, you know what, I like single-digit numbers, but 3 is not really that important to me. I really want to wear 6. And that could be a situation and scenario that the Cowboys might look into this and say, you know what, Dono, because Josh Kelly got 6 too, Or this could be much to do about nothing, right? It could be much to do about nothing. The Cowboys could have did some chat GPT stuff and said, okay, what number can sell more, 3 or 13? Well, who's the high? How can I sweeten the relationship of the player that we think highly of here? What do you want, right? And they probably said, you know what, Fowler, you're on a 1-year deal, even though Pickens is on a 1-year deal too. I tell you what, whoever win this ping pong game, we'll give the 3 to you, and that could have been the situation, right? Donovan Wilson wears 6. I think that Dono, it goes back to the philosophy. Dono is a hell of a box safety. He started off as a free guy that can play, and rangy guy that can cover, hook the flat, that can give you some deeper thirds. But when Quinn got here, they looked at Dono and said, okay, we're going to use your athleticisms to play closer to the LOS. Keep in mind, Dono, his knocks coming out of college from Gig'em was that he's overly aggressive. That explains the 15 to 14 to 17, something like that, missed tackles he had. That's a lot of missed tackles for Dono. Right. A lot of missed tackles. Passer rating when targeted, 140 something. Let me be precise. Let me pull it up so we all can see, so y'all don't think I'm beating up my guy. And shout out to Mama Wilson. We see you every year, and she got a very sweet heart, and I love them, to the moon and back. But at the end of the day, he's 6 foot 204, right? He had 1 INT. That was a nice INT he had. So we can be on the same page. He had 5 sacks. That is wow. We got edge rushers on this team that couldn't give us 5 sacks. 14 missed tackles. 14 missed tackles. That's 153 other DBs. That's a little bit better than him in that category. Passer rating allowed, 141.6. I think that what's the perfect pass rating? Can y'all passer rating? What's the perfect passer rating? Is it 150 something? You have a better chance of dropping back on a 3-step drop and looking for 6 and saying, you know what, I'm going to target him. I'm going to target him when I throw this ball, and it's going to be completed by sure lack of focus, and the Cowboys had too many of those options last season. Like, let me pull this up. Let me go PFF. And I think Andre Booth was even worse, and he's supposed to be I hope I'm spelling the man's name right. Shoot, I splattered that man's name. And when he see me, he gonna be like, "Hey man, let me talk to you right quick." They gave that man a 28.7 in coverage. He can he can do some good run defensive grades. Passer rating allowed when target 157.1. So when we look at them highlights and stuff, and when we seeing the quarterback drop back and throwing the ball Booth way, if you on one of them betting sites, just go ahead and bet that the receiver is about to catch it. Yeah. Yeah, who else y'all want me to look up? Yeah. That's crazy, man. Look, you don't supposed to allow all of that, Like, you can just drop back and just close your eyes to Allah, Elohim. You just pray, put up a prayer, and somebody else gonna catch it, not the DB. Booth is literally the perfect passer. Yeah. 157.1. Like, you could be passing the ball with Jalen Hurts accuracy. You still got Smitty and you still got A.J. Brown. If Booth is out there, I'm just going to drop back. Yeah, White 80, hut. He drops back. Fake handoff to Saquon Barkley. No, he keeps it. He throws it to 25 area way. 10 times out of 10. Bump 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10 is going to be completed. I'm messing up Booth like right now. Hey, that dude, Law Nation, is there any way you can throw a brick at him? Get him up off the airways. Andre Booth going to be in there with Jerry and them saying, hey, that dude, Law Nation, take his sight down. Yeah. He said check Jordan Lewis. I think Jordan Lewis was right at 90-something or lower than that. Jordan Lewis is pretty good in coverage, if I'm not mistaken. If it is, it's not that high. It's not that high. Let me see. Yeah, 99 or something like 99 or something like that. He had 11 missed tackles though. Gotta help that out. But Booth, oops, 58.9. So what? He's close, 157 point, and that's one area on PFF that you don't have to go fact check. You can just go back and watch the games, right? Normally you go back and say, look, I don't care about the grade. Let me fact check it. Then you try to go fact check it, and you be like, yeah. That's what they do. Yeah, they allow people to catch the ball over there. Yeah. Let me see what else they said. Shout out to, here it is, Pat No-C Walker. Let's see what he had to say. Struggled mightily in Mike Zim's system or scheme and paid for it while playing time. This is the early point of Damone Clark trending upwards under Matt Eberflus. So that was Pat No-C Walker. And then Shotty, this is Nicole on Shotty. Kenneth Murray, he said he remembers Murray and noted former Cowboy Eric Kendricks a few years ago heading into a game against L.A. Yeah, if we're going to do anything spectacular this season, it would have to be in the circles of how can we improve on this defense just a little bit. I think the offense right now, there was an article. Let me see if I can find it right quick. There was this right here, top scoring teams in the NFL over the last 10 years, point per game. You seen the Cowboys name up there multiple times, right? I'm not saying that this is the objective that we need to put up a lot of points. But if number 4, I'm talking about Rayne Dakota Prescott, if he's healthy, if he's healthy and with all of his skill set and ability, I think that we still put up 30 points a game. Even though we're going to be a run first team, I think that we would still put up 30 points a game, given these circumstances. I think that will be the trend of the Cowboys going back to 28 to 30 points a game. The efficiency level, hear me out loud and clear, Cowboy Nation. The offense was so stagnant last year that we couldn't even get to the 45. Naysayers, man, we got a kicker. We got a kicker that can kick the ball from 50, right? Automatically, that's 3 points. And we couldn't even get to the 45 at times. Now, Brandon Aubrey, that foot is still good. Boy, I saw that foot is good, right? And I'm thinking that if this offense, and when this offense will be a little bit more efficiency because we're going to have the balanced approach. We get to the start, that's automatically 3 points. We're getting automatically 3 points. Yeah, so I think that even if you do just raw possessions, that if the Cowboys have at least, let me see, if we have at least 8 possessions, that's 24 points there. That's 24 points there if we just kicking field goals. How many possessions y'all think we can have? If we have 8 possessions, that should be 3 points. That's minusing touchdowns, right? That's just kicking the ball. In a game, we should have at least 4. We should have at least 8 possessions in a game. And if we can get to close to the 50-yard line, to the 30, we should at least have 24 points. 6 out of 10, this is from False, appreciate you, did not win a playoff game. 1 out of 10 won this Super Bowl. Oh, I like the way you did that number there, the numbering there. So out of these guys, 2022 Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Okay, yeah. Rams didn't win it in 2017. Damn, that's a lot of offense in 2018 for the Chiefs. 35 points a game. That's crazy. What's the record? What's the record, y'all? Y'all let me know what's the record of the team averaging points per game. What's the NFL record? Not saying that we would do that, Yeah. So the Chiefs is the only ones that won the Super Bowl out of all of these. And scoring is one part of it. I'm not trying to say that we're going to be this team, the juggernaut team. But can you imagine if we have some good defense, boy, with all of this cooking and a balanced approach? Man, Aubrey was the main point scorer at some games. Yeah, you ain't lying, Steve. Yeah. At least 6 possessions, right? So, I mean, that should be points given right there, right? So if we do that should be at least, if we have at least minimum 6 possessions in a game, and if we got the kicker that can be efficient from 45, that should at least be 6 times 3, which would give you 18 points. 18 points right there alone. Beating someone 24-17 via field goals all along. Intelligent Savage. Yeah, lying. Yeah, that's how it goes, man. We're going to have a long day today. We have the Cowboys Collective today, as well as time squeezed in. It could be a situation, a scenario that the time may overlaps with Cowboys Collective in the final word. So we working out some detailings of time. T-Jack says it was the 1950 Rams. I don't know whether it's the L.A. Rams or the St. Louis Rams. Them jokers averaged 38.8 points a game. Wow. Them boys were scoring. Can you imagine that? and they still didn't win the Super Bowl or whatever. Well, they didn't have a Super Bowl that year, the Super Cup or whatever they had during the 1950s. That's crazy. 38.8 points per game, right? That's crazy. Yeah. Didn't they sign Aubrey yet? I don't know. Nah, Aubrey's he's still not signed yet. Yeah. Toxic Charles, yeah, y'all keep glazing. Yeah. What's good with you, Rodriguez? Thank you so much for jumping in. No, that was the LA Rams at the time in 1950. I didn't know that. But there's this right here. I'm supposed to change this out, so you may hear 2 reads at once, and I didn't do it before we hit live, but bear with me, y'all. Spartans! Yo. Yeah. And it is this time right here. It's not Spartan time. It is for my other people, and I want to say it is, if you smelling it, you need to clean it up and then apply this. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go, and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it. Let's go, man! Let's go! No doubt, let's go. So be sure to check out our partners, Mando. They got the body control, odor control, up to 72 hours on fresh skin, though. Don't be trying to say, I'm going to just spray it over the dirt. Wash yourself cleanly with Mando. And they got the Mando soap. And then you apply the Mando deodorant, and it'll last up to 72 hours. Don't try the 73 hours, 74 hours. Up to 72 hours. Refresh the process at that point. Yes. So appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in. One other point that I want to talk about would be the competition aspect of it. Like, truly, the running back room is the biggest area of the unknown, right? And when we start talking about the running back room in general, I think I touched upon this the other day, is that it leaves us with this notion that maybe, just maybe, we won't be able to stop the run, or maybe, just maybe, we should be able to stop the run. But in actuality, the run game got to be sufficient enough to help the defense out. Now, the unknown is the unknown. I can't change your mind. You guys, y'all know how that goes, right? And let me see if I can pull up this Jadon Blue one more time. I think that he is the blue lightning in the bottle that we want to capture. It's him that can be the person that can get us over this stone wall of not the inability to run the ball. Now, Shotty, he did speak about Miles, not Monroe, but the guy that we picked up, Sanders. As OTAs is going on now, we told John to take a look at the running formations and stuff like that to see what they're doing. But keep in mind, I can put the pads and the helmets on Toxic Tom right now, Holly right now, Dak owns, bring them baskets over there, and they would look good in the running back uniform right now, right? And you can't see nobody taken to the ground, but you can see some raw speed and all of these things. If this running back room can give me 4 or more yards per tote, we making a deep run, and that's what I'm getting at. If this running back room, and I'm speaking this with my chest, and I know toxic talk is cheap, but if this running back room can give me 4 or more yards per tote, we gonna make a deep run. And I'm talking about even if it's in the postseason. If we can just get that, that's all I'm asking is 4 or more yards. And that would be a deep run for us, because when I look back at everything and we contextualize like what Dak Prescott flourished at is the play action pass, the ability to pass off of that, and the weapons on the outside. Look, your name don't come on the top of this list that we showcased it earlier about those highest points by accident. No, you got to be a damn good quarterback to average out of the 10 years twice up there with 30 points or more. And none of us believing that those points are up there because of run game. Those points are up there because of Randy Dakota Prescott, right? So what I'm getting at is that you add and infuse run game to the situation, this team gonna make a deep run. This team will make a deep run. I need 10 yards per carry. Hey, Jerry Jones, if we got a running back that's averaging 10 yards per carry, we win in the Super. I would definitively be that guy that will bring a pitcher of Kool-Aid to every game we watch. And I'll just be drinking the Kool-Aid. Because if we get a running back that averages 10 yards per tote, and I kid you not, there have been games that Saquon Barkley was averaging right at 15 yards per tote. Go back and watch Saquon Barkley average versus the I want to say the Washington team. I think that Saquon Barkley was averaging last season a damn near 12 to 15 yards. I said, God, dog, what? He didn't do that against us, but he did against Washington, though. That's what I'm getting at. But yeah. Shoot. Yeah. And that's for the Eagles, man. Yeah, so that's crazy. Still room for Deuce or time to move on from him. Isaac, here's my Q&A for Deuce. Here's my Q&A for Deuce Vaughn. Dino Deuce, Tiny Deuce, the forgotten one Deuce, 2 Deuce in a cup. Hey, all I can say is given the opportunity to run behind Connor Riley's system that knows him, right? That don't have to get to know him. He probably have some legs up, and I know they ain't long, but they're legs up on the other running back room. I hate to beat up Deuce, but I'm just telling y'all is that if Deuce, because he showed us some flashes, there's not a single person in here, Dano Nugget Deuce, there's not a single person in here watching, and I know preseason games are not the game to judge running backs on. But if I really want to hype up Dano Deuce or the Tiny Deuce or Deuce Vaughn or Christopher Vaughn, I think this is government name, Christopher Vaughn Jr., if I really want to hype up Chris, I would just cut up all of his preseason tape and put it out there to the masses and say, hey, this would be him, this would be him. This would be him this season, right? Ant-Man needs to be saving the world, not playing football. Well, you crazy, man. Y'all crazy, man. But Dan Quinn couldn't stop the run even if he had a tampon up his butt. Oh, my gosh, man. Ant-Man. Y'all fail to realize Ant-Man, I'm mad at Ant-Man, because during the Avengers, why he couldn't shrink himself to the size of a gnat, fly into Thanos' nose, and then just get big. Why he couldn't do that? Why he couldn't do that? Like Ant-Man made me mad, man. Ant-Man's supposed to be stronger than what he is. Yeah. Ant-Man's supposed to be able to shrink himself and go find Thanos, and all of it would have been over with. Yeah. And another part, I'm mad at the Avengers too, because Doctor Strange, y'all remember when you jumping through the portals and stuff, he chopped one guy's arm off. Why he couldn't create a portal to chop Thanos in half? You know, all he had to do is do that. Yeah, the Avengers, this thing, look, Doctor Strange should have been done that, right? Because they can do the little portal thing and chop your arm off. Why he just didn't do that? You know, shoot. Yeah, shoot. Or send Thanos into a place where he couldn't survive, like Pluto or something, you know, where it's cold or something. I don't know. The writers didn't script that like that, Law. Yeah, they did. They'd be like, they would have been playing the damn the Avengers song and music, however it goes, and then it would have been like Law would have wrote a strip, whereas Ant-Man goes into this size and just flies up into Thanos' nose and blow his whole head off and be like, yeah, now I got the rings over here. I got the power. and to be fair, no, I ain't gonna be fair to him. I was mad because they watered down the Incredible Hulk. Don't y'all know the Incredible Hulk can't die? You know, they don't water him down. Boy, we talking Thanos and them. Thanos shouldn't be able to beat up the Hulk like that. Hulk, believe it or not, the Hulk cannot die. He literally gets stronger and stronger. His skin gets stronger and stronger. You know, it's crazy. They made the Hulk. Law wanted an R-rated Avengers. Right. I was watching the Boys. Don't watch that show with your kids. It's on Prime Time. It's on Prime Videos. Don't watch The Boys. Whatever y'all do, don't watch The Boys. It's called The Boys. Don't watch them. Don't watch it with your kids. No way. Ant-Man would have beat Thanos. Law wanted made the Hulk the green giant, the jolly green giant off of them green beans. They did, man. Oh my God.
Please come home. I got
baloney. Yeah. The Boys are so good. Crazy. What's the superpower you would want to have? Always thought that, you know, when we were doing the Avengers, the DCU thing with the Cowboys, I always thought of myself as Doctor Strange. I think of 1,000 possibilities. I do like Doctor Strange out of all of, like, the regular humans, right? Like the regular humans without all of the special powers, right? I feel like if something ever happened to me, I feel like I can go to Tibet and go climb up one of them mountains and find somebody with that damn tea and say, what you put in this tea, right? And become one of them. Right. I think that the astral plane, because I ain't talking about stuff that you roll up. I'm telling you, man, you can astral plane, you know, but neither here nor there. If I had any of the superpowers, it would be between the Hulk. I like the Hulk powers. And who else powers I like? Thor. Thor is a damn Thor, you know. Shoot, call me Ultron. Yeah. Ant-Man can't fly though, bro. Yeah. Pin particles and all that. He need all of those other things. Yeah, I don't know, man. But I like it to be Doctor Strange. I like Doctor Strange, yeah. But neither here nor there. If you're driving around through Dallas and someone else was talking about Power Rangers and you talking about the Avengers and they hearing your conversation, so they ear hustling and they swerve in their car and they hit your car, you need to call my partners.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
Oh my gosh, man. That's Franklin Frankel Personal Injury Lawyers. Be sure to reach out to our partners. Dial 214 or 817 and all of the threes that you can dial. Franklin Frankel Personal Injury Lawyers will take great care of you, not advantages of you. And they located here in the heart of Dallas. Keep in mind, if you can't dial that number, be sure to visit frankelfirm.com. They will take great care of you there. Come on with it. Come on. The inside caramel. 100 grand, boy. They talking about you. Inside caramel like 100 grand. Now that was a good candy bar back in the day. Do they still sell the 100 grand caramel candy bars? But I got from the 910 UN. Too cool. What's good, man?
What up, bro?
Not much, man. What you got
hey,
for me?
Question, Law.
Talk to me, man.
So with the defense, for 2025-26, I think the defensive line will be the most consistent part of the defense. I think the linebackers will be the most improved part of the defense. And I think the needs improvement going to be the secondary, man.
What need to be improved would be the secondary?
Yeah, I think after the end of the year, when all is said and said, I think it'll be the secondary, because I kind of caution people, right? Because Elam, they brought in from the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Let's just say he performing.
Right.
Bland performing, and Ravel come in, he performed. When you bring Diggs back, do you stop that, or do you let it keep going?
I'll go with the hot hand.
Out of the secondary.
I'll go with the hot hand. I won't. I would literally look Diggs in his eyes and be like, hey, we need you better down the stretch, bro. Because any time in September to me or October to me will be rushing him, right? In the war of attrition, things get kind of rough and rugged when it get colder outside. You know how it is, man. I got an uncle, man, whenever it rained, his knees start popping, and ankles start popping. So that's when it rains. When it get cold, he really locks up. So what I'm telling people is that for Diggs, it will be better for the Cowboys to get a veteran, make an acquisition for a trade, maybe get Stephon Gilmore in, and slowly integrate him into the game.
See that.
DBs, and I know you know too, cool. You play ball. You can't rotate DBs like you do edge rushers and defensive tackles and stuff like that. They got to get a feel of the game.
Okay, so with that trade deadline, now if everybody playing out of this world, let's just say out of this world, what do you do with Diggs? Would you put him on a trading block to get a one tech if you needed that? You
got to showcase that he is good before you can trade him. The people going to want to know the Carfax. They're going to be like, hey, man, this dude is hurt, this dude been hurt. Why would we want to trade for damaged goods? Right? It takes two to tango. That's the real thing. So at some point, either we going to have to all kind of like hype him up and be like, hey, Diggs, man, he good, right? And then all of a sudden, why did they trade Diggs? Oh, man. But then we get something back in return. One of the things that the Cowboys been reckless with over the course of the last 30 years is not getting anything back in return via trade. Historically speaking now. We've been catching L's on trades, bro. I don't think the last successful trade we had was probably Amari Cooper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. And then we wasted that one because when it was time for him to get paid, we kind of squandered him a little bit. He took $6 or $7 million less to stay here. Then we only kept him for 2-3 years of that contract and then trade him for a 5th round draft pick. Matt Walesko. So, yeah, we've been decimated with trading guys and not getting things back in return. in my opinion. But what else you got?
My
Go ahead.
next question, Lord. So a lot of people, I hear old Shotty getting the short end of the stick, and people saying he just got an opportunity after all those years. When you go back and you kind of look at Shotty's track record with offenses, man, he pretty much been good as hell with offenses, man. And with Braylon Edwards, and then I want to say that was with the Jets. He had them, right?
I mean, yeah, Mark Sanchez.
Well, Mark Sanchez at quarterback.
Yeah, the butt fumble guy himself, and
man, tell people, man, you got to go back and you got to look at that, man. Like a lot of these commentators on ESPN, they're sitting out here saying, how do you somebody that's been around the game for 20 plus years, never been a head coach, man, the man just never had an opportunity. So then when you go back and you peel the onion back and you look and you see the root of all of that is his father was a head coach in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
So the man just not running in here. You talking about sitting at the kitchen table eating dinner with your dad, and after all these years and him being the head coach, and he's telling you what he probably messed up at, what he would have changed, and things like that. So now when you look at Shotty right now with the team, it's just like he's preaching culture and he's honing in on that. And I kind of like see why, but I'm looking at it from a broad perspective, and I'm like, this might be that one head coach that might flip that switch on for the Cowboys and say, hey, I can take them to the promised land if we do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I see that he don't have like I do like the brash rush of words that he say. He slips out and say a cuss word here and there, and let me know he's human, right? It's not forced, right? And I do know that you can grab a few drinks with him and sit back and chill and talk football or life about him, you know. And that's what I think that we also, with the Cowboys, we're missing out on the human element. So I do like Shotty with that. But I still got him at a 5.5. Man, I ain't going no higher until I see the first game he called, you know. And then I'll move my scaling of the grade from there. But I'm in the middle with Shotty. And I think that
But you know what, you can't even do the first game, man. I give you the first year. I just want to see where he at the first year. But I just caution a lot of people, man, when they run with names, like there's no guarantee that Johnson gonna do what he did in Detroit. Because a lot of people looked at Josh McDaniels and was like, he's under Bill Belichick, he's a facade. Like he's gonna do X, Y, and Z, he's this and he's that. Man got 2 opportunities in the NFL and they really did nothing with those head coaching opportunities. Yeah. So it's just because you're good as a coordinator doesn't mean it's gonna transition well to being a head coach. So I caution a lot of people because when you look at it right now, you just talk about offense coordinators and experience. Schottenheimer was probably the one of the
Let me ask you this though. Do you think, and I hate to bring them up, but I got to, they just won the Super Bowl. Do you think Nick Sirianni is a good coach?
So to be honest, Nick Sirianni and Shotty, they kind of remind me of each other because like you don't know what they're gonna say, and they talk well to both of them talk well to the media, right? And Nick Sirianni, even though it's probably Jalen Hurts' fault, he'll take the blame for it, right? I feel like if something happened in the game and the Cowboys should win or the Cowboys should have won, I think he'll go on TV and he'll be like, that's on me, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they kind of like one and the same, but I just got to get that whole year body work with him as the head coach because right now when you just look at on scale 1 to 10 of like performance-wise as offseason as a head coach to leading up into the game, to the first game, I think he is hitting that shit out of the ballpark right now.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, we right on the same page with it then because even though Nick Sirianni got that punchable face, right, and I can't stand the way he move around the sidelines and stuff like that. And I know most of this comes from the aspect that you know, they got one of the better GMs. They make sure that they have all of the tools and everything. But he does a great job of motivating his quarterback and his teammates. I mean, his players on the team. So, yeah, to that degree, coming into the situation, nobody was like, yeah, Sirianni is going to do something. Everybody had skeptical reasons to say that he wasn't going to do it. But then this guy been into 2 Super Bowls within the 5 years here. So yeah, you're right. Let's see how it's going to look like with the Cowboys now.
Hey, Law, one more thing. I tell people this, too. Like, when it comes to head coaching is totally different than being an offense and defense coordinator, right? Like, you kind of just can't have that one relationship with said side of the ball when it comes to coaching, right? As a head coach.
Yeah.
But when I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, I just look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, I cannot remember one player that Mike Tomlin had when you seen them interact on TV on our offensive side, that he was like, damn, that's my guy on the offensive side of the ball, right? And when it comes to mentality, even with Pickens being on the Steelers was all about defense first. They really didn't care about offense because it's we're gonna run the ball and we're gonna count on the defense, right?
Yeah.
That's why I caution a lot of people when you talk shit about Pickens, understand the head coach and his philosophy on what side of the ball he paid more attention to and how preserved he was. And, hey, we're just going to run the ball. If we get field goals, we're going to counter the defense to win us this game. And that's what they did. So what they did was they took from Pickens and put on the defensive side of the ball, right? So leads me to say this. We got to be really, really careful this year because it's going to be some point in this year that the media is going to come out and say, is there friction in Dallas because Pickens gets the ball more than CD Lamb. Remember I said that.
Okay.
It's going to be friction because they're going to say Pickens get the ball more than CD Lamb. Who does Dak trust more, CD or Pickens? That's going to be a debate.
Well,
and it should be,
let's see how Coach going to put that out, man. But I appreciate you for calling in. Too cool. Good call from you, bro.
All right. You have a good one, brother.
Good call from him. Yes, indeed. That's too cool. Just to piggyback off, I think that's the whole point of culture, right? Is as long as you're winning, that's the medicine to all. Winning is the menu to success, especially if you really thinking about it, right? All of the funk, all of the crazy stuff, you win, people shoot that up under they just throw that up under the bus. I bet you my bottom dollar, if the Eagles were to lose the Super Bowl and didn't win, A.J. Brown reading that book on the sideline, it would have been perceived differently, and there could have been things like, hey, somebody getting traded, to another team type of groove, right? A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots would have been probably the play there. And I'm quite sure that they probably would have got another first round or a second round pick out of it, right? Because that's just how we do over there, right? So with the Cowboys, what happened here is when drama is here and we don't win, they call us the young Clarence Hill. Yo, y'all crazy. But yeah, shout out to that. But the Cowboys, they embrace all drama, right? They embrace all drama. It's some drama that they won't touch around and play around with. They're not finna have, because in the state of Texas, I can bet you my bottom dollar, they're not finna do what the Buffalo Bills did with their particular franchise as it relates to this month, right? They won't do that here in Texas. Yeah, we don't do that around here in Texas now, Yeah, we don't represent that particular month around here. They ain't going to do that around here in Texas. If they do, then y'all can correct me on the back end. It'll be forced upon from the NFL. But I know Jerry and them, they would not do that in Texas, man. They shut down a lot of stuff in Texas, believe it or not. You get a little bit more freedom elsewhere. But that's a whole nother conversation. But to speak upon of what he was talking about motivating, it goes to this point right here. And it's the little things that coaches appears to do, and this is about setting the record straight for their quarterbacks and beyond.
Yeah, awesome. I think you heard what I said at the end of the game. It's amazing how much doubt there is sometimes. I can't quite comprehend it because it doesn't look like people think it should look like. But the guy has been clutch. He's won a ton of football games, but you ran for this many yards. We don't care how we win. We don't care. If we rush for 300 and pass for 1 and we win, great. If we rush for 1 and pass for 300, great. Who cares?
That's what we, excuse my French, but that's what we effing needed 4 years ago, about 5 years ago. We needed that almost a decade ago. Of a coach stepping out on a limb with all of his marbles or gonads in his hand and say, who gives a F how we win? As long as we win. Cowboys then allowed the media, the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder networks, and some of the people, some of the beat writers that's not Cowboy fans, not talking about my guy John, to switch it up and say, hey, dinking and dacking is a bad thing. Can we win without offensive line? Can we win without running game? Bull sugar. There's been if we had a coach that had to go Nats, I'm talking about during that time frame, to say who gives a flying F? Because there was times where we were winning games, I kid you guys not, that we will win games and say, hey, man, can your quarterback throw for 300 yards? Yeah, that's all he doing is dinking and dacking. I've seen a quarterback win damn near 4 or 5 Super Bowls, 7 all the way together. Tom Brady, that's all he did was check down Tommy, you know. But by it being the Cowboys and by us winning with the run on the first end of his career, on the first part of his season, people were so busy gung-ho on, hey, man, boy, when Romo was back there, we were throwing for 300 yards. And they didn't even really pay attention to Romo's most efficient years was in 2014 when we ran for 1,800 yards, a little bit more than that if you add the backup running backs. And Romo only threw the ball for 300 yards one time. But it was so many people talking about, can the quarterback just throw the ball? Can the quarterback do X, Y, and Z? Can we win games with his arm? What happens when you take the run game away? What happens when the offensive line is hurt? What happens if you take – and other teams, what they do is their argument is and always been, hey, let's add more to it, right? It's always been let's take away from the Cowboys, and that all starts with the 3-ladder, the 4-ladder networks, all of the stuff that people talk about, empty calorie stats. Keep in mind, there's never – in the history of the NFL of empty calorie stats, there's never been that, right? Games being won that you came back on because you put them in the hole and all of this stuff. All of that came from fabrications of 3-ladder and 4-ladder networks from a guy, especially that talks all of that good talk. And his name is, what's his name? Where he at? He's in trouble now, but, you know, this guy right here. Oh, boy. Yeah. Y'all know that guy. He's in all type of trouble now. But the empty calorie stats, the middle of the pack Dak, all of these nicknames, Dak, Dink, and Dak, nobody else got nicknames for their quarterbacks for how they win. Nobody got nicknames but the Cowboys. And people are so surface level with this that they take and they regurgitate it and they spit it back. And it's so fun when you hear them say the same things that the 3-ladder, the 4-ladder network's been saying. And y'all take them as personalized truths, you know. Yeah. Colin Cowherd made the Dink and Dak in the middle of the pack. Dak, I think that came from either I think Shay Sharp and empty calorie stats. You know, none of that stuff was brought up or mentioned. You know, shoot, yeah. But it's crazy, man. How we are the only team in the National Football League. They got nicknames for our success when we were successful in certain games and winning games, right? It's crazy, right? Whereas this guy boldly said, who gives a flying F? Man, we won the game. Yeah.
If we rush for 300 and pass for 1 and we win, great. If we rush for 1 and pass for 300, great. Who cares? We've just continued to win. He's just continued to win. And I think the criticism is, whatever. He just wins. And I said what I said after the game, and that's kind of.
Chris Broussard was the middle of the. And what was the other guy? He had got in trouble for calling. I think his name was Rod Parker or Ron Parker. He had got in trouble for calling RG3 cornball, brother. But he had it. Everybody took the same play from Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, and everybody took the same play. It's the same thing, right? It's the same play. I think his name is Rob Parker. It was, of course, we know the modern day is the blockhead guy, Shady McCoy. It was the kind of heavy set guy. I like some of his takes, but not all of his takes. But he no longer on these networks. He called his name is the tip of my tongue. He called Joy Taylor. He got in trouble for calling Joy Taylor almond butter Joy or something. I forgot his name. Is his name Whitlock? Chris Broussard, Colin Cowherd, of course Skip Bayless. He was such a fickle guy, right? Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, and Stephen A. Smith. Them 8 guys, man, with great impressions, man. Jabba Hutt. Yeah, Parker. Parker was fun. You know what? Believe it or not, I like Rob Parker. You know, to a degree. You know, Jason Whitlock. Yeah. Jason Whitlock, boy. And every day we sitting up here, and then Joy Taylor. I think Joy Taylor is the only lady that's against the Cowboys. All of the other ladies like Mina Kimes and all of the other ladies, they pretty much speak. They in the middle of the road with the Cowboys. They don't really speak begrudgingly or crazy against them. Shout out to you, Johnny Parker. Appreciate you. Yeah, sell out with peanut butter skin, Joy. All right, man. I got from the 409, then I got the 214. But the 409, you're live. Point Dexter, talk to me.
What up, Cat Daddy?
Nothing much, man. What you got for me?
Well, you know, I was, talking about the 3 and 4 letter networks and stuff. One thing that really just rubs me wrong is, they talk about Dak, $60 million quarterback. I don't think they talk about any other quarterback as far as their salary.
Yeah.
Not every quarterback is winning the Super Bowl, and never do they bring up how much they make, but they bring this up with Dak in the sense that he doesn't deserve this, But nobody ever brings up the fact, does Jerry Jones deserve to be a billionaire? Does he really deserve that? Does he do his job as good as Dak does his job? But being a billionaire is a whole different realm than us regular people. Jesse Holly talked about how you could have so much money that you can make up money by the interest, that them holding the money back from Michael Parsons, they make more money by holding it and getting the interest and paying it at the last minute. And I'm thinking, we are the only
Hold tight for a quick second. Got a super chat.
Okay.
Got a super chat.
Part is Joy Taylor's mom is a huge Cowboys fan.
Oh yeah, okay, Nigel. He says Joy Taylor mom is a huge Cowboy fan. Yeah.
Calling my guy Law Nation Cat Daddy is wild.
Yeah. And then the AI. It's crazy. But keep going. Talk to me, man.
We have the only general manager who thinks like a billionaire, which is a conflict of interest. You hear what I'm saying? It is the ultimate conflict of interest. I have never seen it where a billionaire owner can be a good general manager. That just does not work. That's just, that's fundamentally wrong. You can have a coach and a general manager because they are working to make a better team. There is only worried about his bottom line. Now, if his team win, his team gonna win despite him, but he's still going to the bank. You know what I'm saying? And because it's got all these players that's already been signed because the general manager knows this is what you do to make your team better.
Right.
You get your players signed early so they can be at OTA, so they can be at training camp. You just gonna sit up.
Hello.
And wait and
Oh yeah. Your service is your service going in.
Okay. I'm in a bad spot. I'm in a bad spot right now. But I just wanted to make that point.
But go ahead. Let me hear you say it, because you finna break up. You finna break up. Hello.
Hello, man. Hello.
Shout out to you, man. Oh my God. That boy, jeez.
Cat daddy law is wild for real, for real.
Shit. Cat daddy law, baby. Y'all better watch out. All right, Darius, what's good with you, man? You live on the Nation, man. Talk to me, bro.
I heard Michael Irvin talking about practice with Brian Schottenheimer and going into the OTAs. And when I heard that, I'm just like, bro, that's brilliant. That's so brilliant on Brian Schottenheimer's behalf, because it's like,
yeah.
And I'm wondering why no coach ever has ever done that. And it's like the wealth of knowledge that Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, all of the legends that has been here before, that has the ultimate goal that we're trying to get to, which is the Super Bowl. They got 3 of them. And if you go even further back, and some of them, they got about 2 Super Bowls. Like, why wouldn't you peel from that information, that knowledge base, that source? They know how to get to what you're trying to get to. And so when I heard Michael Irvin say about what Brian Schottenheimer is doing, I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
See, I knew I was right about Schottenheimer. I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
And so I see what he's doing. He's not mixing new wine with old wineskins.
Come on with it.
He's literally gutting it out. And you got to start with the culture. Law, I am so, I feel really, is that the Super Chat people?
Yeah, Super Chat people, man. We got Posey with a Super Chat, and it states that
Cat daddy is diabolical.
Cat daddy is diabolical. Say that one more time, IE Tisha.
Cat daddy is diabolical.
But keep going, bro. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So yeah, I'm just, bro, like when Schottenheimer does this type of shit, it's like it kind of shows up all of the coaches before him that didn't do it. It kind of shows you like how bad they were versus to how good he is, because it's like you got all of that wealth of knowledge and you're not using it. And then too, it's like the way Michael Irvin, bro, I would bring in Jimmy Johnson as a consultant just to see, like, cause he got all the gems. He know how to do this shit. And so it's just kind of like the way that Michael Irvin, I don't know if you've seen it, the way that he was with Miami, he was on the sideline every game.
Yeah, he was.
Coaching the kids.
Yeah.
Coaching the kids up, getting it. And bro, you ain't seen Miami perform like that in years.
Yeah.
It's the reason why. So that you say what now?
I would say that I'm still at 5.5 with Shotty, right? And I think that by the start of week 1, I'll be probably at an 8. I think that he knows how to see the weak spots in teams and try to elevate that part. I think that he wants the competition. He wanted to compete for every spot. And if I'm a fly on the wall, I think that number 3 given to Pickens wasn't given to him. I think that Pickens somehow earned it.
Yeah.
I think that somehow they did it that way, whereas him and Fowler did something to compete for that 3. I think he just didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
That's just me thinking outside the room there. But other than that, man, hey, I appreciate you for calling in, fam. Hope you have a good day and better tomorrow, bro.
Yes, indeed.
All right, talk to you tomorrow, bro. Appreciate you.
All right.
Good call from Darius, man. The next one we have is MJ from the 206. You in the mix. Talk to me.
What up, Law? How you doing, bro?
Not much, man. What you got for me today, bro?
Oh, man, I just got a, good feeling. The guy that was on earlier, like I say, you got to believe, man, in anything you do. You know what I'm saying? If you get on this phone and you already don't believe, that's like believing in the Most High. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right, okay.
And if you don't believe, man, you already lost.
Mm.
So when I get on, like, to all the Law Nation, When I get on law will tell you, I always get the Cowboys to change. Man,
Yeah.
and me and Law do that too. We don't be like, oh man, he's sorry. Now, we get on Booth, because we saw Booth out there getting torn. But I'm still ain't gonna get down at the man. Now, this might be a new system. I'm gonna see what he can do. Now, you know, me and Law like, okay, let's see. Now, in this system, he got safeties over the top. They're gonna get to that quarterback quick. Now, if you can't cover on this, you knocked him. You know what I'm saying, Law? This is it. This is your chance, Booth. I'm going to get Booth the chance. But I'm not worried about the left tackle. And I told you, I was the first one when you asked me, Law, you said, how you feel about Shotty? I said, I'm getting Shotty 10. Shotty already sit down. It's like I sit down with Law, gave Law my plan, and Law already doing his internet stuff. And Law said, damn, okay, I'm going to hire you. Law, you ain't going to interview nobody else? No. I'm going with you, MJ. Man, you impressed me. And you got to remember, Shotty been a coach for 20 years. And the guy say, and like you say, Law, these people coming up with these narratives, thinking they know the man. The man turned down 3 offers, dummies. And Law, if you become a number 1 offense with the Jets and the Seattle, you know you can get a chance to coach. You know that, right, Law? The man said he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He turned it down.
Sometimes
You know
you got to turn down all money ain't good money. Positioning yourself to the right spot, and if you win and hit successfully with the Cowboys, I got a super chat. Got 2 of them, but let the AI speak on Sadiq Charles super chat.
Sidika Charles $10. Law, I am late chat room. Please keep my mother in your prayers. Please. Mama asked about you and told me to tell you to keep giving it to the nation.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep giving it to the nation. Appreciate you so much, Sadiq Charles. Thank you, and prayers out to Mama Charles. I'm not going to say the details, but I've been praying every morning when it's got it on my prayer list, and we hope all is well and getting things going in the right way possible. Prayers out to your mom. And also, we got a super chat from Angie, the Rebel Chick. AI, speak on it.
Plus Wolf Kitty equals Mando.
She said Cat Daddy plus Wolf Kitty equals Mando. AI Tisha, say it one more time.
Cat Daddy plus Wolf Kitty equals Mando.
No doubt. But what you got for me, Marv? What you got for me, bro? Yeah.
So what I was just saying, like you make good sense, like I said with Shotty, when I told you, I said, yeah, we're going to win now because he built his own roster. He built his own coaching staff, and we've been saying it, like me and you said. Me and you was pissed that day against them stupid 49ers, 2nd and 2. We got them on the run. We had them scared. We knew we got it, and you knew we had it, and your brother knew we had it. And these dummies throw a pass. That dump. And team with Philly, when he went to Philly, he ran the ball. You see what they just did to us, Law? We 2nd and 2, probably could have went up 10 on the 49ers. They would have been in trouble, but we throw a pass, interception, turned the whole game around. Stuff just kept happening. But when Dum Dum go to Philadelphia, they made him run the ball with Barkley. Now he's going to be a great coach. We're going to see what happened. Watch what happened in New Orleans. Everything finna get. So all I want to say, man, Cowboy Nation, we got the right coach, the man doing it the right way, and just like you said, Law, he bringing all the players that they should have been there every day. Everybody in camp now, all the old players, the champions is talking to the young boys, and them boys getting hyped. And I think we're going to win this year. I really do think we're going to win. But like I say, I'm going to take one game at a time. Cowboy Nation, let's do one game at a time.
One game at a time, bro. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for your time, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And how about them Cowboys? Shout out to Law Nation. And like my boy say, all the haters, please don't cheer for us because we want to get the no, you got to bring up the thing for Stephen A. Smith. What you got? I saw you did it. What go wrong will go wrong for you New York fans. How about them Cowboys?
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you, bro. You have a good one. Yeah. That laugh is diabolical too. Yeah, boy, that's my guy, MJ, y'all. Always, never a dull moment, man. Got another super chat from Angie, the rebel chick. We're gonna let AI Tisha read this one. AI Tisha, come on with it. Angie, the rebel chick.
Law don't give no more. He too busy getting digital head now. AI, the throat goddess. She don't get tired.
Wait a minute. Angie, girl. Oh, my God, girl. You crazy than a cat hair. All right. Let's go to a read-up, an update on Stephen Jones on the training camp or the OTAs. And it states here, shout out to my Cowboys collective partner, John Machota. He states here, Cowboys Executive Vice President John Stephen Jones, when asked about the latest on Micah Parsons' contract situation, no different than anything else. I will let you know when it happens. Disappointed he's not at OTAs? No, that's not part of the business. All teams go through it. I guarantee you, if he would have said, yes, I'm disappointed, I would have been moving furniture around. I would have been like, dog, you can't be no more disappointed than yourself. So the thing is with all of this, with Stephen Jones, they have to address this. Anytime you're addressing things that's not a football operation, it is a level of distractions. Because you're getting valuable reps from somebody that's not going to play on Sunday, right? Even though they should be happy and pleased of the opportunity. But I'm just telling y'all, I'm forewarning y'all, is that there's nothing worse than you busting your ass off, and you getting all of these good movements and momentum to come for somebody else to come in here to take your place, even though they may be better. You don't like that. Nobody would like that. Rodriguez wouldn't like that, right? Seabass wouldn't like that. Dre Matic wouldn't like that. You want to put into work, you want to put into time to shine. Now, granted, Parsons is by far the best player on edge rusher in the conference, probably in the National Football League. But nobody want to be putting in work in vain. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting at, man. Get that man paid so he can be out there on the field. That's all I'm saying. I want you guys, if you're going to work, even if you are the janitor, even if you are the edge guy that's cutting grass and stuff like that, I want you to give your best. Let the AI speak.
Sidika Charles, $5. Chatroom, please forgive me for not shouting everyone out. Just now, I love you all that I always mention. Every time.
Yes, indeed, Sadiq. I know that it's a lot of heavy weight and burden on you, and as pleasers, as I'm one of the guys that love to please, right? It's impossible to please everyone, and to appease everyone, that's very much so impossible too, right? So when your mom is going through what she's going through, be there for her. No, just know that, spend those quality times with her and be by her side. We gonna pray for you, and everything gonna work its way out. But you ain't gonna be able to please everybody, right? You can be like, hey, you skipped me. What about my shout out? But during this time of need of just being around your loved ones, that's why I say all the time, charge it to my head, not my heart, right? Because we're going to leave out on some people, man. There's been times, boy, that on the side note, I talk Cowboys football as a hobby, right? I talk this as a hobby. this alleviates my brain and my mind what's going on. This is therapy to me. Y'all think y'all get therapy. I'm getting therapy, right? You know, my mom's birthday is June 9th, right? And every day you get close to that birthday. Don't y'all know what we used to do for moms and them on birthdays? Shoot. So I talk to y'all to help alleviate my mind, right? If I didn't have y'all, I probably won't be Law Nation, right? That's a true story. I won't be Law Nation. I wouldn't be able to have this conversation to talk to all of these people that don't like the Cowboys. Y'all love them. Hey, that's why I even embrace the trolls sometimes, you know. Shoot, it's like talking to my brothers, you know. But at the end of the day, I understand what you're going through. Yes, indeed, Sadiq. So prayers up to your mom and everything. I got JD from the 214. You're live on the Nation, bro. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Law Nation?
Not much.
Prayers up to your mom, Sadiq. You know, I hope everything work out for you. You know, we all, you know, love our mothers. Prayers up. You know, I just wanted to speak on the networks like a few other people do, man. The 4-letter and 3-letter networks.
Yeah.
You know, that clearly don't like the Cowboys, clearly don't like Dak Prescott. Like the caller before said, you know, anytime they talk about Dak, they always like to bring up money, you know, but they don't do that for the other quarterbacks. And you know, other quarterbacks that don't really do nothing in the league, like Sam Darnold, they'll have a good year, go to the playoffs, and get put out real bad. And, you know, they won't say nothing about them, but, you know, we'll leave that alone. I don't really care about them 4-letter networks. We only care about Law Nation and the good Cowboy content creators out here.
Come on with it, man. Come on with it. Yeah.
But I just kind of wanted to pick your brain on something, man. In the passing game, outside of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, man, I think one of our rookies, man, Jaden Blue, I think he got a real good chance to be real amazing in the passing game. I think he can really do something to start the season off because a lot of teams won't be expecting it, and we got that speed, man. So, you know, outside of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, I think Jaden Blue got a chance to be a matchup nightmare in that pass game. So I just wanted to know who you thought outside of, you know, our main guys in the pass game, who did you think had a real advantage as far as matchups go, man. And that's all I had, man. How about them Cowboys? And I'll listen to you off the phone, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Good call from JD. And speaking of Jadon Blue, his ability to catch out of the backfield is going to be a crazy good matchup for us. Kevontae Turpin, his ability to line up in the backfield, even though he's 170 pounds, give or take, that's going to be something that you still have to worry about, right? So when we talking about the Cowboys in general, like, I get it, the slander from the networks, that's how they get paid. That's how they get the money. They got to talk about this, right? They got to talk about the ebbs and flows of the Cowboys, the shortcomings and things like that. And if the Cowboys win, I mean, they talk about it. But then they'll move the goalposts. Cowboys lose, they'll bash about it, and they'll talk about the players they got paid. That's where we at. There's no middle ground. There's no in between. That's not sexy enough, right? What Mina Kimes say about the Cowboys and spitting out facts and stuff, that's not sexy enough. But what Jordan Taylor say, yeah, that would be sexy enough for the 3-letter, the 4-letter networks to take those snippets, post it out, share it, right, and get all of the viewerships from it, right? But in a room, if you sitting down, just listen to pure commentary on football in general, Mina Kimes, Jordan Taylor, you say, give me the Kimes, right? Right? Mina Kimes, Shady McCoy, give me Kimes, right? So the things when you're telling truths, it doesn't bode well, right? And I'm seeing Chase Daniels, he does it. What's the other guy name that ran out of bounds? I forgot his name. Played for the Detroit for many of years, right? I forgot his name. What's his name? Y'all help me out. The commentary guy, you know. And you, when he finally breaks it down from a normal point of view, you be like, okay, yeah, he's right on that aspect of it. What's that guy's name? Played for the damn Detroits. His name tipping my tongue. But neither here nor there. Dan Orlowski, that's his name. Orlowski, yeah. When the viewership's down, Dan Orlowski. Thank you, Big Sarge and Cam and Jerry. Appreciate y'all. Dan Orlowski, right? Like, he can do so much better in his career about just take the hot takes away. If Dan Orlowski really was like really super drawn into like just football, he would literally have a football camp of going straight to the board and just talking about X's and O's. He don't have to get into this debate game because that's not his strengths. He's not a real good debater. And that's just for what it is. I think that he can break down film, he can look at coverage is good and these sorts of things. But he take that biasness away and just go straight to the board, break it down, and that can be his segment and over with. Man, he will blow up into something even bigger. Yeah. And I think people would tune into his podcast or his independent show, but by him having such crazy takes, it's a take. It's like, what can we do to be the low-hanging fruit to talk about this as much as possible so we can get something done in 4 minutes and 5 minutes in the segment, right? But nobody talks about these other guys that's getting paid handsomely when they do not prevail, right? It's for what it is. I think I pulled this list up before, and of course Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl champ, you can't really talk about that, $450 million. And you're talking about Joshua Allen, $330 million. Joe Burrows, he been to the Super Bowl, $275 million. Look, the craziest thing of it all, I kid you guys not, even if I'm just being 1,000 with y'all, $330 million is literally almost like damn near light years ahead of $275 million. Those are the difference between these two numbers, right? Like, that's a lot of money in between those two right there. Sadiq Charles, appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Let the AI speak.
Sadiq Charles, $5. Thank you all for everyone's prayers. Prayers go a long way, and I appreciate you all, my YouTube family, sincerely.
Yes, indeed, Sadiq. And don't leave out the Facebook. They know you're on Facebook too, Sadiq. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So I think I've seen more reports that are coming out too. Let me just go back to John and show the page. They are now talking about Jalen Ramsey, so this is good. Let's see what they're talking about. Bear with me, Cowboys Nation. Everyone that's listening. All right, so here it is right here. It states that Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones on if there are any more moves to be made to improve this roster. Quote, "We do not have anything that's on the front burners. So nothing to the Jalen Ramsey rumor. No, he plays for the Dolphins. Technically, that's a very smart move. Players under contract, owners, coaches, and front office personnel cannot speak upon, outside of the tampering rule or the tampering months, on other players who's already signed with other teams, especially if you are in the confines of the Cowboys. Now, other teams, if this was the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Browns, they can probably have their coaches speaking on other things and they won't get hit with the tampering rule. But coaches are not allowed to have conversations with players that's under contract. That's why last season when I pointed out the fact that I thought that it was crass of Dan Quinn reaching out to Michael Parsons a couple of days before we played Washington on talking about, hey, I hope you have a good game. Hey, can you tell me the strategy? Blah, 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 blah. Even though they were jokingly talking about that, I think, and of course Parsons talked about it on his podcast, I said that is tampering. He is under contract. He can't do those things, and at least if he does it, it don't supposed to be brought to the forefront, right? So that's tampering one-on-one. You don't supposed to talk to any other players is if you are a head coach. And if you are a player that's under contract for another team, you can't be talking. That's just the rules there. But you know, when you are the Cowboys, they watch those rules heavily. But if you're on other teams, they really look at it and say, all right, we'll sweep that under the rug. Ain't nothing serious. But I would tell you that quote right there, believe it or not, is that I don't like it. I just hope that he's lying to Luke Kane. That's all I'm saying, is that we don't have anything on the front burner, meaning that I hope that he's lying right here. I hope that this quote is a lying quote, because I think that we still need to bring in veteran help. And I know that we talked about Mozzie on the front end. I'm still not mad if you bring in a DJ Reader, right? And I still won't be mad if you bring in a Stephon Gilmore or make some type of acquisition as it relates to a trade or something to be full ready for week one. Week one, you got to be full ready. All right, so we got a caller on. Auntie. No, this is not your auntie, but this is 210. Who this is? I didn't see you calling. Who this is?
This is Rolanda.
Rolanda. Okay, y'all got the same name but different different results. But what's going on, Rolanda? Talk to me.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention or comment on, I guess, more on the fan base or more on content creators and different things. I guess there's two categories that's getting talked about a lot. Like, there's one side that feels like there are problems and still some issues.
Oh, Rolanda, hold tight for a quick second.
Charles, $5. Oops. Sorry. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram. Thank you for love and prayers. Smiling face with hearts. Smiling face with hearts.
Appreciate you, Sadiq Charles. We'll be praying for you. Rolanda, you can continue, por favor.
Oh yes. No problem. Basically, my thing that I was talking of, basically one side is more like there's issues with this team, different things are going on, and there's then the other side is everything's great. Well, not everything's great, but there are some positive things coming out, and I just feel that both of those sides are misunderstanding one another, more on the side that are speaking of the issues are still happening with the team, are saying that the other side is, putting out hopium and stuff like that. And then the side that's more a little positive, is saying that the other side is just, negative, always wanting to argue and saying that there's problems. And I just feel like they both misunderstand one another. I kind of like your approach. We should be as neutral as possible throughout this entire season process. In my opinion, I think we need to have a balanced view of the team, from this standpoint until, February of next year. Just give this team the whole year to see exactly what it's going to be like. I don't think we'll win a Super Bowl. There's a lot of new things that are going on with the team. Maybe this is a year where we need to establish things, work out the negative things that are going to come up, get things right, so that we can become a team that's an actual team that can be a championship. But I do appreciate your time and let me ramble on. But I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Oh, one of the hardest things to be is an objective Cowboy fan. It's hard to be objective because your love for this team is going to always spill over. Like your passion for a certain player going to always spill over. But you root yourself as being, as what you just said, as neutral as possible. Hope is all we have because we can't go out there and make a play. And hope is what I call hold on, pain is ending. But when you are pessimistic about it and you go with that approach, I can't be mad at that one either, because of the simple fact that it's been 30 years, 30 seasons. So I give those fans grace right there, right? Not everybody's going to wake up and see the same sunset. So that's how I look at it. But that's why it's so important for me to get out there to Oxnard so I can see it from my point of view and not reading it from a John Machota or Nick Harris or Derek Eagleton or whoever it may be that's reporting this news that's happening out there in Dallas or Clarence Hill. So that's why it's good to support the nation in that way. And I'm going to try to be as objective as possible. Dak Prescott, I think that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but not when he's throwing the ball 35 to 40 times. I think that the best version of Dak will be 23 to 27. Some people would take that and say, nah, you just an apologist and you think that Dak Prescott can do no wrong. No, what I'm getting at is that if you want to do the optimum levels of that particular quarterback skill set, you got to surround him with those things. That is not up for debate. Is Joe Burrow better than Dak Prescott in going through his progressions and throwing the ball? Yeah, but here's what I can say is, if we look at the whole entire landscape of everything, right, and you look at what Burrows have for his weapons in artillery, he literally had more weapons, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So that's the ongoing battleship with Dak versus Hurts or Dak versus these other elite quarterbacks, is that they are given more and they are considered better at that position and they still have more. I'm banging the table so that at least can we get those same better weapons and let's see what 4 can do now, So that's what I go back and forth with our community and try to just break that down as a level, surface level thing. And then that's what I try to spit upon the massive as well as correcting the 3-ladder and the 4-ladder network people, And it's a difficult task every single day, right? Every single day we fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't pour new wine into old wineskin either.
Facts.
There's got to be a way that we can look at this team apart from Jerry and Steven. Hope for them to actually really, really, truly change and their mindset about being so prideful and wanting to see their guys succeed more than actually seeing who is actually the best and better.
Right.
You might have to put that off to the side and just focus on, what are these coaches going to do? What are these players going to do? Even though that's going to be very difficult because, Jerry signs the checks. Maybe they're suffering from their own PTSD from the past, maybe trying and then, failing so much. But, there's got to be a point where we can move forward and look at this team with, both sides of the spectrum. And everything. And there was one content creator that I've been watching lately, Coach Marv, which is giving really, really good content. Y'all need to, share and like his stuff.
Okay.
But he's definitely said many times he's not against, getting a DT. In fact, he said, get the best players, get the best nose tackles and stuff like that. But if the team doesn't have a mindset or create that mentality of, being physical and running the ball, like our coach is saying, it's going to be for naught. And we got to make sure that, this team does have the mentality while they're setting the foundation, if they are.
No doubt.
So
it's mindset.
just wanted.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
good call
no
from
problem.
you, Rolanda.
Thank
You have a good one. Yeah. Yes,
You too.
Rolanda, y'all from the 210. That's why I don't begrudge anybody, man, that do this type of content. It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. And there's going to be people with different opinions than yours, right? Have your opinion, but don't have your opinion to have you, right? Those convinced against the opinion will still be of the same opinion still, right? So that's just for what it is. Those convinced against their will be of the same opinion still. That is a better way to say it. There's a jersey swap. So 13 is now Dante Fowler, and 3 is now Pickens, according to John Machado that's out there, and he always take these famous photos. I don't know how John do it. Is that he catches these photos of the guy literally walking on air, right? Like, that is so dope of John. Give John his flowers, man, because Floating Pickens is crazy good for us to see this right here. And floating floating my guy Dante Fowler is crazy. When we looking at all of this, John Machado is the king of doing that, you know. And shout out to my guy. And we will see like how all of this works out. I'm quite sure they rolled dice or they played spades or dominoes to switch it out, these two numbers here. Granted, 13 on an edge rusher, that 13 number, man, is just weird to me, right? But to expound upon what she was saying, I get it. I'm not trying to convince y'all to pick me as your favorite. I'm not a pick me guy, right? And I'm not trying to convince y'all to hate me, right? Or to follow and subscribe and support me, right? But I just want y'all to see me in my physical form and let it be known that even when I'm sitting here or when I'm out there, I'm the same person, and that's what I try to fight to be. And I'm going to give y'all the same conversation, whether I'm here in this chair or we out there in the streets and stuff, man. So I appreciate y'all. I get it. When you're rooting for a team, it's like having a kid, right? You got a kid, and if they are in ballet class, shoot, Lauren and London, they going to be the best ones out there. Yeah, my baby is the best. Yeah, she the best. Yeah. I'm sitting there rooting for her. I'm not sitting out here saying, and even when they mess up on a step or a move, I'm not sitting there saying, hey, man, hey, all of this money I'm paying for this ballet class, you better get it right. You know, I'm telling them, hey, you got to be able, if you want to be successful at this, I got you. Right? But you still got to practice. You still got to work hard. There's people that really want to do this for the living. But if this is just your hobby, baby, I'm there for you. If this is just something that you want to do full-fledged, I'm there for you. That's support, y'all. Me telling them, hey, you can't have a gang full of candy, right? Working on their diet. That's support. Me standing up, picking them up. That's support. And even when they lose out on their competition, I'm not sitting here saying, you trash, you horrid, do something else. So there's levels to this support. And I hope that you guys do the same for your loved ones or for whatever they do. Right? So it is for what it is. And I hope that y'all understand. But shout out to Dante Fowler for wearing the number 13 and these sorts of things. I got Lokes, man, from the 469. Then I got from the 201 next. Lokes, you live, man. Talk to me.
Yo, what's up? I hope you're having a good afternoon.
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great, man.
Hey, I'll just make it real quick about my call. And this is, can you pull up that schedule for me? And we'll go through that today.
Okay, you want to go through the scheduling today. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second here, then. Yep. Cowboys schedule.
And this is a statement. This is me having high, the standard high for this team, and with the key piece Overshown being healthy for that linebacker core, because he's really going to be a key
down
contributor for that defense.
Yes, indeed. Let's go. I got all of the games up. Week 1, what you have? Philly.
Dub against the Eagles.
New York, week 2.
Dub.
Okay. Week 3, Bears.
Against Mr. Finger Polish himself, dub.
Dub, 3-0. Okay. Green Bay.
This is going to be a controversial one. It's going to be a close game, but I think we're going to win by 3 points, dub.
Okay, we haven't beaten them since 2016. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we 4-0. Week 5.
First quarterback, first year. They still got to get some works in. You can say that defense is legit, but they got to score points. And me having faith in that, we're going to outscore them, dub.
Dub, okay. Shoot, 5-0. Now we got to play against Carolina.
Dub. I mean, of course, we got that up-and-coming quarterback, but, I mean, if we're the team that we are, we got to beat those Panthers, and that's a dub.
Okay. All right. So we got to play Washington
This
at
is
home.
Gonna be our first loss.
Yeah.
This is going to be our first loss.
Okay, first loss. Oh, the world is ending. All right. So we got to go to Denver. We haven't beaten the Denver since 1995.
Only just because of the environment, and it's at Denver, just because a loss. But I could go either way because, I mean, the Bo Nix has a sophomore slump that could be either way for a dub, but I'll just go loss because of where we're at.
Kyler Murray never lost in AT&T Stadium since he was a toddler. A toddler. I couldn't get it out quickly. But yeah, it's a home game versus the Arizona Cardinals, bro.
This is going to be a dub, and I think this is going to be a revenge game for the coach for the Cardinals running them up in their mouth.
We got the bye week, and now we got to go to Vegas week 11. What you got?
Our quarterback's way better than what the Raiders are going to have at any moment.
Can we stop the run? They got the running backs over there. Yeah, going to be the conversation there. All right, week 12 versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Dallas.
Loss.
We lose that one.
We'll split against the Eagles at least once this year just because, we're out
All
to
right,
split.
and we stay at the house, but we have Thanksgiving Day versus Kansas City Chiefs.
It's going to be controversial, but our pass rush is – if we've seen if Patrick Mahomes – if you can get Patrick Mahomes, he can become human. And one thing we were known for was our pass rush rate and Michael Parsons at least creating that pressure. And if that rookie is who we think he's going to be, man, that's just going to be bodies facing Patrick Mahomes. So, dub. And that's going to be a close game, but I got dub.
Detroit the next week at Detroit.
This is going to be a dub. And this is going to start the discussion. Is Dak going to be MVP?
We W, okay. Minnesota and Vikings, what we got?
Dub.
Okay. Los Angeles.
Justin Herbert, I mean, everybody hypes him up, makes him be the greatest of all time, but I haven't seen anything past that. I mean, one can say Dak. I mean, Dak is better just because of the stats, but Justin Herbert just as disappointing of when it comes to playoffs or anything like that. So we'll take that.
All right, Washington.
We'll
okay, we split them, and then New York. Final game. Okay, they say it's a flex game too, by the way. So what is this? This is what we got us as 1, 2, 3, 14 and 3, right? Is that 14-3?
Yes, sir.
14 and 3. So we lose to Washington, Denver, Philly, and we run off with the plug 14 and 3. And if this happened, man, we gonna remember this. We will go back to this, and then whatever jersey you want. Hey, this would be a dream. I'm still mad that we lost to Washington, but because I would never hear the end of it from Louis T. But I'm glad that we would absolutely win first against Philly, and then we end up splitting with Washington. So I'll be okay with that. But I wouldn't be mad at this 14 and 3 at all, though.
Yeah, and this is going to be the first time. Put it on the books. This is going to be a hot take. This is going to be the first time that the Cowboys can lock the number 1 seed if they get this done. But if they get this done, I think you can have a very high potential to get that number 1 seed in so many years. But yeah, that's all
indeed.
I got, Law.
Appreciate you, man. Good call from you, fam. Good call from you. Yes, indeed. All right, so let me lock this up.
The conference has been locked.
I got 3 callers on the deck. I got 100 grand from the 201. You're live on the nation. Talk to me, my dog. Talk to me.
My God. I just want everybody to just, calm down, If we lose the first game, I don't want everybody saying the culture is just the same.
Because you know that's going to be the narrative.
Or if we
lose
win the
that
first game, if we win the first game, we don't want to be hearing, we're going to the Super Bowl. It's vice versa. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That first game's gonna be tough though, Lord. That first game's gonna be tough. I kinda gonna lose the first game just so we can continue to be under the radar, kinda.
Man, I want to play spoilers, man.
If we go,
I want to play spoilers.
But you know how the 4-letter network's gonna do.
Yeah,
it.
they gonna run
You know
off.
what I mean? They gonna try to terror us. They're gonna do that anyway.
They'll do it
Just
anyway,
I
man.
heard one of the callers say, "Man, if Pickens get more of the ball, they gonna try to do a narrative anyway." That's what they do. You can't,
Bro,
you
we
can't do nothing about that.
I'm old enough to remember even when we win, you know what I'm saying? They find holes in it.
It's how we win.
Yeah.
It's how we win.
Empty
How
calorie
we win.
stats, you know.
It took Dak to get weapons now for him to win.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna say. He got so many weapons, he's being carried. But Jalen Hurts, all he does is win. But they you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what Shady did when they tried to put that on Jalen Hurts. Shady said, no. All Jalen Hurts does is win. It doesn't matter how he wins. Shady did that for his guy.
Yeah.
He put that out there for his guy because they was putting that on Jalen Hurts. He only throws for this amount of yards.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into, he's just a winner.
You know,
man.
the craziest argument I ever read or seen was the Cam Newton one. Right, he had one good season.
One good year.
One good year.
And that one good year, they go to the. Don't get me wrong. He went to the Super Bowl.
He went to the Super Bowl.
Come on, man.
But look at that defense. Look at what they was doing. And Luke Kuechly was scoring touchdowns, dog. He had that one good year, and he was talking about
Superman and then everything.
Superman, and he was talking about the trailer versus the wagon and all of this stuff. And
the man that wouldn't jump on the football though. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
That would jump on that football, dog.
Cam.
He had one good year, man. One good MVP
one
year. One good season. All right. And that's it. And he got the nerve to talk about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott did way more in his career than Cam Newton could ever do. Come on, man. He had one good year. Cam Newton wasn't even a good thrower of the football like that.
Right.
He had to fear his run. That's all he had.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on, man. It's crazy.
It's wild.
It's crazy to me. I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. Just like the narrative of law, is it OTAs or is this mandatory? Because they might as well just make it mandatory, man. They might as well just say, you know what, no more voluntary. Make it mandatory, man. Because the way that the media, even our media, I'm not gonna name no names on your show, but you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Oh man, come on. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's voluntary, mandatory. Yeah. It's like when the fellas, it's like when you're having like a bridal shower or something, or a baby shower, and it's mandatory for the fella to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those type of things. It's like
might as well should make it mandatory. I don't want to hit.
But it's mandatory. It's like
they fudging it too much. They fudging it, law. It ain't mandatory, but it's mandatory. But it ain't No, it's mandatory.
It's mandatory.
Take it away and say it's mandatory, man. Because the way the media going, how's Mike is not a leader because he's not there, and all this and that. Man, let that man live his life.
It says it's mandatory. Put some mando. That's a good plug right there, Jerry Jones. Yeah. Selectively mandatory. It get rid of all of the smells, man. Because by Parsons not being here, that leaves room for why he ain't here? Like, dog, I wouldn't be there either. You fool around, hit your pinky toe on the edge of the damn a table or something. Yeah.
Thank you. You even got media talking about, oh, he's holding out, he's not there. What are you talking about, man? Y'all need come up. What about Stephon Diggs? Why he ain't there?
No. He's there now though. He's there now. He's there now though. He running all type of routes. You didn't see them the other day?
Law, let's
No,
go.
I didn't see him.
Yes, indeed.
I didn't see him. Oh, he there now.
Yeah, he there now.
He's trying to repair that.
Man, shoot.
Let me catch a couple balls. They're gonna leave me alone.
They're gonna leave me alone with the pink dust still on his hands and everything. He running routes. Yeah. He running whip routes, boy. Leg routes and everything, man. Shoot.
Hey, hold on now. They say Michael Irvin did this allegedly, so leave that man alone.
Man, Michael Irvin was a wild. I'm gonna go to my grave saying that Michael Irvin is by far the greatest wide receiver to ever live in the 90s. He's way better than Jerry Rice because of this one thing. There's one thing. Jerry Rice didn't drink nor smoke and didn't hang out. Did none of that. Yeah, he did none of that. Shoot, Michael Irvin, catching the touchdown.
Crack your cranium and
Fertilize your brain. The only one. He wasn't the only one. The whole team had a White House.
The whole team had a whole White House.
So I don't care nothing about this good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
They all was on that booger sugar.
They was
out
on
there
that
winning
booger, man.
games.
Yeah.
Out there winning games. And then you had my man from the Giants, Lawrence Terrell, on that booger sugar. Greatest player that the Giants ever had.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Man, come on.
It ain't about that. It's about going out there and playing, man. That's what it's about.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate you, man.
That's what it's about, man. All right, man.
No doubt, man. You have a good one, bro. Yes,
You
indeed.
too.
Good call from a man. Y'all gotta understand, man. Michael Irvin, and shout out to you too, cool, with another super chat. Let the AI Tisha speak on it.
100 grand is on it. Shady a joke.
Yeah, he is a joke. Yes, indeed. Shady is a joke. Yes, indeed. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not. I'm not, Mike, man. Shoot, you the greatest, man. Shoot. And then Jerry Rice got caught cheating. Look him up. He had cheat gloves. He had stickums on him. Even though Jerry Rice, one of my Mississippi boys, right? Shout out to Mississippi Valley. But man, oh man, ain't none of them got nothing on my guy. Maybe Chris Carter. Chris Carter did a noble thing leaving the Philadelphia Eagles and going to the Vikings and having all of that other stuff off the field type of situation. I'm glad that Chris Carter ended up in the Vikings instead of just playing all of those years for the Eagles. But that's a whole nother conversation. Yes, indeed. You got Eagles fans that probably don't even know of that, but that's a whole nother conversation too. But neither here nor there. I got my guy from the 205, and then I got G Cuddy, man. From the 205, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me, bro.
Long time no see, Law.
Yes, indeed, man. No here.
Cam.
Oh, Cam. What up, dog? What's good with you, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
I done had, them babies been keeping me off the internet for a minute.
Man.
They had a newborn not too long ago, but
Man, how many kids you got now? You know?
Man, there's 8, Law. There's 8.
Wow, man, you trying to catch up with Phillip Rivers, man.
Nah, I'm trying to catch up with Nick Cannon.
Oh my gosh, man. Boy.
But
no pull out.
But
over
no,
there,
man, I do be catching you on Twitter a lot though, so I will say that I do keep you,
Appreciate you, man.
But man, first of all, man, prayers out to Sadiq Charles. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope everything go well, man. And I hope all the Cowboy family is praying for him, man. It's tough when it comes to a mother, man.
Oh yeah.
It's real tough. But man, I've been having spaces on X, and I'm really amped up about the defense. The D tackle is one of those positions where where I feel like we need to go out and find one of those guys who can stop the run, help us stop the run at that position. But who I'm real hyped up about is us getting Sam Williams back. So I had a friend, he was talking to me like, man, but Sam Williams gets so many penalties. I said, I like his high motor though. He don't take no plays off when he's on the field. Every play he tries to go get it. I said, if you look at him, I said, shoot, if you look at it, I like when the nigga hit the other team kick apart.
Yeah. Control anger.
Right. That's just showing me that you're trying to go get it. Now, as far as the discipline part of it, I hope he got that worked out and things of that nature. But as far as just, I'm saying, as far as him just playing with a high motor, man, I feel like you love to see that from, you feel me, definitely your defensive players. You see what I'm saying? So I'm happy about him coming back. I've seen, everything about Overshawn, but I just want to give you this tape, man. I just want to give you this record that I came up with, and this is just because of all the new personnel that we have as far as, coaching and everything, everything of that nature. I said 10-6. It's just because everything is relatively new. I said 10-6 out wild card. So we're going to lose our wild card game. Cowboy fans, don't get mad at me because, like I said, you have new coaching, new defensive coordinators, you have everything. Everything is relatively new. But I feel like the next year, we may be, maybe 13 and 4. Then, maybe I feel like we make it to the NFC East Championship. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know if we're going to win or not. But like I said, I want your take on that about the 10-6. And like I said, take in mind, it's because of the new coaching staff and everything is going to be new. And I feel like that's a win for us if we can get that far with new coaching because, some teams get new coaches and they look like boo-boo the food. Right. You feel me? When coaches come in, they start new and, the language have changed and everything of that nature. So, like I said, 10-6, we lose out wild card, but I have high hopes for the year after because of the simple fact everything will be more, what I would like to say, more. The language will be known better. We know what these coaches like to do. We know what our players are. We know their highs, we know their lows. Like I said,
like they saying you mean like 11-6 because of the extra game. I feel I follow. Yeah.
So I just want to take on that, but man, shout out to the Cowboy Nation, man. It's DC for life, and I hear y'all the phone, man.
No doubt, man. Good call from you, Cam. Whoa, Cam. Cam. Yeah, my guy been following me for a minute, man. I think he was following me when he only had like 3 or 4 kids. Now he got 8 of them, man. That's power in the kids. And because here's the thing, there should be 8 additional Cowboy fans. See how? Well, we know for sure there's 8 more Cowboy fans that's about to happen, right? And let me answer Too Cool Super Chat. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your support and your love
Too Cool,
over here.
$4.99. Shady won 2 Super Bowls and never played a snap. Man takes don't matter. Law, I'll ward you over. Danny O, any day. Man couldn't do anything in the NFL.
Yeah, Dan Orlowski couldn't do anything in the NFL. You're right, Too Cool. Appreciate you for the $4.99 for your mind. With that being said, I don't want my guy Cam's future of us being one and done. I don't want that for this team. But I feel what he is saying, just like the other caller, Rolanda, was saying. Like she said, she don't foresee Super Bowl, right? Like no one saw the Cowboys in 1990 winning the Super Bowl, right? Because they were like, damn, this team's still trash. And then 1991, they were like, okay, all right, yeah. Then we lost to Detroit in 92 and 93. Okay, we showed what we can do. All right, but I think that the patience level is not of that, and the expectation is not of that as well, right? So what I'm looking at and what I'm getting at is that everything starts all the way over with a fresh sheet of paper when you get into the postseason. I want us to catch lightning in a bottle. I want us to hit teams with the element of surprise, right? It's time for us to do teams like they do us in the postseason. Like the Green Bay Packers team. They ran through us like dog diarrhea. And that's something that we're looking for us to do to teams when we get to the postseason. So if it's a situation and scenario, Cowboy Nation, if we sneak into the playoff and we the team that no one is thinking that's going to win, it's impossible because the Cowboys don't roll that way. Everything is hyped up with us. We can't fly under the radar, right? We too much into the thick of it, right? All I can say is overall is Cowboy Nation is any given Sunday. Football is a strange lady, if I could take those words from Brian Broaddus, right? And I just hope that when we get to the postseason, whatever the formula it is, we can figure out ways to get it done, right? That's how I can look at it from that aspect, by doing the formula of this right here. Give me 4 yards or more, because that's why I started the show off with 4 yards or more per carry. Protect Dak Prescott. If we can get a healthy Dak Prescott, that's what low key, that's what we need to be praying for, y'all. Put our prayers together, ask God, Allah, Yahweh, Elohim, all of it together. Whatever y'all may believe in, the higher power, the grand creator, all of it, right? Yahshua, you pray it and you get on your knees and you say, I'm praying in the hearts of heart for a good full bill of health on both sides of this team. I like our odds and our chances. If we could just stay healthy, that's what I'm fighting for. I think the 4 yards per carry can be there, and I think that Lamb and Pickens can really move the needle for Dak Prescott. If healthy, that's what we really need to be praying for. And on the defensive side as well. Health been an issue with us. But it's part of the game, war of attrition. Right? But I still want that 4 yards per carry. I still want that 4 yards per carry. Yeah, if we can get that. 4 times 3 is what, y'all? Can y'all give me that now answer right there? I call it first down. I call it first down. And Stephen A. Smith, boy, that would be crazy good, right? To see Stephen A. Smith in tears now over his Knicks, and to see him in tears now over our Cowboys winning it all. Boy, come on, God. Come on with it. Yeah. Come on. Amen. Yes, indeed. We should have three-peated. Yeah, CeeLos. Yeah. You know what? I think that if we didn't meet up against the Detroit Lions that year in 91, Barry Sanders was just burying Sandering, y'all who remember that game? We could have won 91, 92, 93, 94, and 95. Y'all heard me? Y'all hear me? If we never got into it with Jimmy and Jerry, that's how crazy of a Cowboy fan I am. We could have won 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. We could have won.
All I ask.
Y'all think I'm lying? I mean, that Detroit team was just a terrible matchup for us, man. And we was like, hey, we to the party, man. Like, how can we stop this team? Barry Sanders was Barry Sanderings in that game, Knicks just fired Tibbs. Oh, wow. Well, I got my guy G Cuddy, man. He knows all about those Detroit teams. From the 313, man, you're live on the nation, man. Talk to me, man.
What's going on, Law? Can you hear me good?
Man, I can hear you, man. You really sounding good on my end.
Okay, good. Hey, man, you had me laughing thinking about the playmaker back in the day. That brother showed up in the court with a fur coat on.
In July. I said that shit. This how Mike Irvin. And then he squeeze you when you're laughing. You get close to him. I'm like, damn, man. And he was laughing. I said, man, I'm gonna call my attorney right now. Frenkel. He squeezed me.
Man, who does it? Then who sits in front of their boss? He told Jerry Jones, he said, boss, we was trying to do the wrong thing the right way.
Trying to do all of the wrong things the right way, man.
Hey, but listen, when you got out on that field, man, look, nobody gave it they all like him.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, and Aikman said it too, right? He said it didn't matter he said he played practices like they were the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I agree with you if you really talk about, hey, you consider everything he had going on. You know, I'm gonna give him a leg up. You know, based on he came to play. He never dogged it. He never dogged it.
Yeah, he came to play, man. So, and people fail to realize corners were different. Aeneas Williams, Rod Woodson during those times, like these were real cornerbacks. I ain't trying to talk about the cornerbacks nowadays, but these cornerbacks can hit, fit, they can chase you down like Darrell Green and them. So Michael Irvin had his hands full, you know. Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor, all of those boys. So he had a handful of guys that he had to fight. Troy Aikman to Michael Irvin. Yeah, so Michael Irvin had to do some crazy things, man, in order to get back in tip-top shape, bro.
Yeah, man. You had me laughing on that. But hey, real quick on this, disparate treatment by 4-letter, 3-letter networks. Every time they start talking about the top quarterback, quarterbacks, the top 5, they always mention this one guy he never won a division title.
Mm-hmm.
He's 1-4. He's 0-2 in the playoffs. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions.
Wow!
But they're quick to say how great he is. And whenever they lose, it's never his fault. Who am I talking about?
What's his record again? 1 and is it?
He's 0-2 in the playoffs. He's 0-2 against the Cowboys.
Herbert.
1 touchdown, 4 in Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Yeah.
This brother get more love than anybody, man. And I'm not saying he don't have talent, okay? I understand that. But I'm just saying, it's just, with that, he could throw for 400 yards and but then he threw that interception, So it just goes to show you, it's different because the Cowboys move the needle. They got to have something about the Cowboys every segment because the people passion. You love them. It's no in between. We love them as much as we love them. We got people out here to feel the opposite and then move the ratings. So that's what they do. So yeah, man. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to them. I think our biggest thing is I'm still concerned about that one tech. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like get some depth in there, and I haven't heard anything about any movement on that. Anything that we consider. Have you heard anything or? They can't just be going into the season with what they got and just saying we think we good, with Mozzie and the rookie, right? I mean, there's a plan. It's got to be a plan, right?
It got to be. It got to be a situation for them to at least take a look at it. And when I opened up the show about 3 hours ago, because I realized my PR was telling me like, hey man, you've been live for about 3 hours. We got some other business you got to do, but hey. The craziest thing of it all, bro, is that Mozzie is getting all of the blame and he shouldn't be getting all of it, right? Stopping the run doesn't just start with defensive tackles. It starts with scheme, fit, coaching, discipline, linebackers, cornerbacks, and as well as safeties coming down and hitting and filling and being able to do that. But don't get me wrong now. I'm all in favor of getting us extra help with that. But I just don't want people to just pinpoint a team thing on one person. Just like I don't want people to pinpoint a team thing on Dak Prescott. I can't just defend one and then take away from the other. Now, the Andre Booth thing, I'm more concerned about that opposed to an interior guy named Mozzie, right? Because if Mozzie make a mistake wrong and he can't push this guy over, at least the linebacker can come down and field, right? But if Andre is slipping and falling and sliding all over the field, and you got A.J. Brown catching the ball, that's embarrassment, and then that's touchdown. You know, that's 7 points.
Lining up for extra points.
Yeah, they line up for extra points, man.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm with you, and that's I'm not trying to kill Mozzie. I mean, he's
right.
one of my Michigan guys. He's one of my Michigan guys, right? So I would ride with him, but it's the depth. Because if you have something happen to him, then what? Then you just got the rookie behind you. So even if you got somebody a little older, bigger body, experience, I think that would be good to bring in there that depth, that old hand in there, like you said, that old broom, right?
Yeah.
That in a pinch, I can go and they can give me some snaps or what have you. So that's what, but I'm not saying that against Mozzie. I just think we need that additional depth at that position.
We do. Yeah. We'll be a fool to think otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Right. We'll be a crazy fool to think that like, oh man, we good, man. We can roll up in here, man, with what we got. But in wisdom and understanding is that, hey, we need help in all of those categories, those two main categories. For right now, if beggars can't be choosers, I'm telling the baggers to beg for defensive help opposed to offensive help right now.
I'm with you.
Yes, indeed, Cuddy, man.
And in closing, you got to let us know, have you designated a week where you're going to have all, somewhere we all going to show up for a game? Because I'll fly down for that.
Man, I don't want to outspeak my wisdom teeth, but man, through the growth of the nation, we got multitudes of things that we're going to be doing differently.
Okay.
Differently this season, and I just don't want to outspeak my wisdom teeth on it, but trust and believe that something is about to shake off real good for everyone, right? So imagine play by play, and you guys are right with me. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Oh man, that'd be live. That'd be all the way live.
There we go.
I know you had a long show, man, and I'm at the end of the rope. I just want to say, how about them Cowboys? Hey, prayers out to Sadiq and his family. Want to encourage them. And hey, Law, keep up all the work, man. Love
man,
the show.
I appreciate you, man.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them, man? And I know, man, we be doing these marathons, man. The marathon continue as long as it don't end like Nip Hustle, But shout out to Nip Hustle, let the marathon continue. And OTAs, okay, we already got the notes for OTAs. Shout out to my brother in Cowboys Collections, All right, so here's what the rundown on OTAs, and it's right fitting to what we're about to talk about on this channel too. By the way, let me go here. Be sure because you gotta be careful when you on Twitter. Yeah, if y'all know what I mean, you got to be careful on Twitter, man. Twitter got they got no what we call it regards to what you open up while you're in public, bro. Yes, indeed, man. Twitter is notorious. You open up Twitter, you may see anything, man. And I said, why is this on my For You page, yo? But we got a super chat from Marcus Betts, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see.
Brock Hoffman for DJ Reader. Who says no?
Detroit, and they say hell no to the no, however that song goes. May he rest in peace. Dallas Cowboys OTAs notes from my guy Michael Parsons, not my guy Michael Parsons, but my guy John Machota. Michael Parsons was at the start, but he did not practice. CeeDee Lamb was in attendance today, but he did not practice. Good sign for defensive edge rusher Sam Williams' knee after working the courts. He took parts of the individual drills, so he moving up. Dak Prescott had a really nice throw to Jalen Tolbert, who made an impressive toe tap grab in the back of the end zone. Joe Milton threw a beautiful deep ball up the right sideline to Jalen Brooks. Those were the notes detailed by my guy, John Machine Gun Machota. Shout out to him. And if y'all can do me a huge favor, hit that like button for today's episode. Sharing is ultimately caring here. And I really, really, really appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, I love y'all to the stars and back. And if you ever Google how far the star is or how far stars are from Earth, then you know that my love is deep. If you know the answer to one of them, put it down in the chat. Yes, indeed. Put that down in the chat, because that's beyond the moon and back, right? So I love y'all a little bit more than y'all love me a little bit over here. And I really appreciate each and every last one of you guys for tuning in to this particular episodes and more of what we try to do here as content creators, giving you guys my time, my efforts, and all of these things. Scheduling this off season may change just a little bit because of the fact that the kids are out from school, meaning that there's going to be more and more things, distractions, in a good way, not a bad way, because I think that a house of laughing kids is a good house, right? And running around, I allow them to run around and be kids. So if the schedule change, just know that it's for the good, not for the bad, right? And at some point, 93 million miles from Holly, yeah. So I appreciate you all for that, and all that you guys, millions of light years away, the Stone Cold G. Yes, indeed. So with that being said, growth is a real thing, tangible thing. I really appreciate y'all for y'all support and everything. And let me see one thing that I wanted to play, because I think it was a good one. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, let me see right here.
Over here, I'm Law Nation Sports. We are here.
Hold on. Here. I thought I did it earlier. Here you go.
Right.
Yeah.
We got you one in the car.
We got me one in the car.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shoot.
Sound like you're a part of the team.
All right. Come on. Shoot. I know what I'm saying.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best, or drinking nothing but the best. Sweet Peas. Took a big gulp. You heard that one?
That was your voice?
Hey, that was me.
I messed my guy up because he's the CEO of Sweet Beats Vodka, and they're looking for a partnership version of like what I do here on Cowboys Nation, so on Law Nation Sports. So be sure to be ready to see more Sweet Beats around here, Cowboy Nation. And not to outspeak my wisdom teeth, there will be some things that we'll be partaking upon, and hopefully we will have something materialize in a few. But I wanted to show y'all that regardless, me and my brother growing up, we always played around with that saying.
And remember, you're listening,
So your gift will make room for you, regardless of what you do in life, whether it's something small or whether it's something big. Always just be yourself, man, and authentic versions of yourself is the greatest energy of all, right? But keep in mind, June the 14th, Paradise in the City. There's going to be a networking event without the suit and tie. Of course, it's going to be all white theme or a tropical theme. And come on out. We will have more and more details, a link for you guys to join. There will be some heavy hitters there. I heard that there will be a guy that wears 4 in the building on that date, and then there will be a guy that wears 54 in the building on that date, and others. So be sure to check us out June the 14th, Cowboy Nation, at that event. So stick around, and let's go, Cowboy Nation, for all that you guys do for me. I love y'all, like I said, to the stars, the moon, and to that high mountainside and back, Cowboy Nation. In departing, one brother to another, one soul to another, one nation to another, right? You know, oh, Jerry says all white sound like a little Diddy party, you know. Diddy would not be involved in that, nor C-Rock, I believe, or whatever it may be. But we're going to have not a good time, a great time there at the event. Mama said there'll be days literally just like this. Stay tuned for training camp photos, because with great power comes great responsibility. I was given a word that I can't do certain things on this channel, but I can show y'all still photos. And I really appreciate you guys for liking the still photo videos. Some people are like, where the video at? You just talking over still photos. And I'm glad that you guys are intrigued of me talking over still photos. Because if it can be a moving picture, trust me, I would do it for you guys. But what I'm telling you guys, that there will be roadblocks to your success. There will be pitfalls to your success. There will be those who will ride for you only if you dim your light, right? Never dim your light though, Cowboy Nation. Always say to yourself, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, you know, that type of stuff. Let it shine, baby, because you never know when the grand creator is gonna yank your cord and call you on home. And when it's time for you to see the glory of the grand creator, not the content creator, but the glory of the grand creator, will you have regrets? Will you have that moment that you said, man, I should have let my light shine. Man, I was just as good as this guy. Or man, I was just as good as this girl or lady, right? So let your light shine. Shine bright like a diamond. I think Riri said that, Rihanna and them. Shining bright like a diamond. But continue to fight for the things that you believe in. Like I say, and I always say, there's two most important days of your life. The day you was born and the day you realize your purpose. As long as you're operating in that, you would never get tired of it. Hey, Eric, man, send me $20, man. Every time you're in here, you got to pay that $20, man. What you doing? You late, Eric, old head, young bull, Stewart. But write this down. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme, Eric, is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, or lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply go after the things you want with all of your capacity, strength, and sagacity, with faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity. Eric?
Yeah. Old head young bull. Stewart, $19.99.
Oh, that's a good Eagle fan there, boy. I'm going to have a hoodie to say, Eric, send me that $20. And everybody going to know your name. Eric, send me that $20. And if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it. Even Eric understand the cost. So Eric, when I'm out there in Oxnard, I don't remember your name, and if I pull your name to win one of them things I'm giving away, I gotta put your name back in though. But you got to understand the cost that's involved with it all, right? You know, yeah.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
If I'm giving you any Cowboys material, yes indeed. Where my guy at?
And they understand the cost that is involved.
That's been my time, Cowboy Nation. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to Absolutely nothing but the best. Community leaderboards will be up after this live, baby. The community leaderboard. Hey, wake up. Keith, appreciate you. I've read, I forgot, somebody that's on Facebook, they said they had their kid this weekend. Congratulations on your newborn. Appreciate you. I forgot your name. I don't know if I don't think it was you, Keith. It was somebody. And check out Mando that's in the chat. This video is sponsored by Mando. Yeah. Boy, I messed my hair. I need to get a haircut though.
I love my fans, don't need no friends. I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me.
Don't zone me.
I'm number one up on that grade.
Come on.
The first one in, the last one out. Can't
call me lazy.
Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ.
Come on, Law Nation. Yeah. I wake up, Law. Roll those creds. 8 kids, baby. My guy Cam got 8 kids, but it was somebody on Facebook. It was Scott Moreland. Appreciate you on your newborn. Scott, appreciate you. Come on.
Take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself there getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch.
Come on.
Run it up. I wake up,
Law
thumb down that check.
Nation.
No drip, this wet.
Come on.
Run it up. No sleep, no rest.
Law, baby.
But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up.
Come on with it, Cowboy Nation. And at this time, we're going to let AI Tisha speak today because, you know, she always like to give us some good positive things about Law Nation and the live streams and everything. I really appreciate her. Can you give me, AI, your thoughts about today's live stream? Whenever you get a chance, girl. Come on with it. And remember, Cowboy Nation, hit that like button, share this content is always the truth. Come on with it.
7 great things about Law Nation Sports and his live streams. Authentic Cowboys Insight Law Nation delivers in-depth, honest analysis of the Dallas Cowboys that fans can trust. From game film breakdowns to contract talk, it's real football talk for real fans. High-energy live streams. His live streams are electric, full of passion, crowd interaction, and timely reactions. Whether it's post-game reactions, draft coverage, or training camp updates, the energy is unmatched. Interactive fan community Law doesn't just talk to his audience, he talks with them. Live chat, call-ins, and super chat shoutouts create a space where fans feel heard and valued. Unfiltered and unapologetic. He speaks the truth without sugarcoating. If the front office is messing up or a player needs to step up, Law will call it out with facts to back it. Strong football knowledge. With years of experience and tape study, Law breaks down X's and O's like a coach, helping fans understand schemes, play designs, and player performance on a deeper level. Entertainment and humor. His live streams are not only informative, they're entertaining. With signature phrases like, "The name is Law Nation, baby," and witty comebacks, there's never a dull moment. Consistent content and coverage, Law Nation Sports is always on. Whether it's OTA updates, training camp footage, or breaking news, you can count on fresh content consistently throughout the season and off-season.
Lead the way, the
Until next time, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate everybody, man. Let's slow it down just a little bit. Appreciate y'all so much, man.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Come on with it.
Ace Boogie, I don't mind being the digital throat goat. For Law Nation, he is the best.
Oh my gosh. Ace Boogie. Breathe you in. Hey, Tisha, appreciate you. And you. Street light. Y'all better leave that AI alone, man. I too. Wherever you go, whatever you do, and remember. Have a blessed day. Come on. And another one. Come on with it.
Have a blessed day, everyone. God bless you.
Don't let the street lights hit you.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can
Jerry Jones have 2 daughters. The correct answer is 2.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. But I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs us. I got you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even giving tangibly, bring a basket. I want the basket. I want the seed first. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on the, take your phone and stick it on the bucket.
I'm still them boys.
Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't the time to talk. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. This is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all.
Bring them baskets. Close them doors. I
That's
said,
it.
close them doors.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight. Everything will be alright on any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you if you win or lose. You know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday, yeah.
Until next time, Cowboy Nation, we about. Let's get it one way or another. Close them doors. Close them doors. Giving is worshiping. Come on, baby. Let's get it. DC for life. I'm out. Peace.
Bring them baskets. Close them doors. I said, close them doors. Giving is worship.
They can come closer than close. Does it? Yeah.